550.
Okay, that's all I need to hear. That's fine. We'll let it go because we got to keep rolling. Salina, tornado coming in right on you guys right now. Vaughn is just on the north side of that. He's going to be in rain. I'm not going to bother him while he's trying to get there. And then back to the northeast. This is a tornado in Disney, southeast side of Disney. Just went by Langley. Tornado was confirmed. It's a tight couplet. This is moving on the southeast side of Grand Lake right now. So a tornado warning, southeast side of Grand Lake from Disney. There's a tornado in or just along and south of Disney along the south shore of Grand Lake. That's where it should hug as it continues to move to the northeast. That'll take it across the areas near Dennis, and then it'll eventually move to the northeast. So this is now updated to the northeast, east-northeast of Disney, south shores of Grand Lake. You guys need to take cover. There's just a ton of homes right in here that is continuing to the northeast. So I'm worried it's going to cycle, so hopefully it'll die down. But right now it is a tornado, most likely. If not, you're going to get some serious wind damage. A lot of folks here. And, of course, the lake is chugged full of water to top that off. And that's moving to the northeast. So some of the communities over Grand Lake and then Grove. You guys, a lot of folks in Grove, 921. We are sitting at 854. I'm talking fast because we have so many things going on right now. This is very urgent for you guys in this area. It's embedded in rain. You couldn't even see it if you wanted to. So that's the only thing is Doppler radar. JD has. Okay, JD, give me a quick update from your location. JD, where?
Okay, we're on 412, and we just came past the Locust Grove exit there, the second one, farthest to the east. And it's 2 times in a row we've had a lightning strike, and it looked like a very large tornado. I mean, very large. And that is going to be straight to my north, Travis. Straight north of 412. It's going to be up near Locust Grove.
Let's go to right now to radar again. It is. You're right. So this is right now going over the... Okay, 82, Salina, just south of Salina right now. So we have I think, JD, you are very, very correct on this. So a tornado, 2 tornadoes here. I have to get back to Alan sometime, but this is a tornado wrapped up near Salina, damage in Salina. We're locked in right now. Radar is indicating that as well. And so that's a 520 road. And Bluff Drive, what is that?
It's Bluff Drive and State Highway 82. Okay,
and so this is going to be about a minute old data coming right on across this area. So if you're in this area, you need to take cover. Salina, hope you're in cover right now. That goes to the northeast at this point. That's continuing. And so about how fast, 35?
30 to 35.
Okay, so this is Tornado Salina moving to the northeast. Can you give us a track? And then Ellen, I'm going to go to you. News, hang on for a few seconds.
Let me speed it up.
Okay. So this is the time.
There you go, 35.
Okay, so if you're on the south, from Salina now to Spavinaw Lake, over Spavinaw Lake, Lake Uchi, and then Uchi itself, 923. So a tornado right here, right now. Vaughn's on the north side coming into town. Vaughn, be careful coming into Salina. Okay, Vaughn, go ahead.
Anything.
Tell me what you have, Vaughn.
Towards Salina. Power flashes towards Salina.
I see it.
In that general direction.
Yeah, I just saw one.
Yeah, power flashes continuing.
Okay, Mike, I see it. I see it, Mike.
Okay. Mike.
I'm in heavy rain right now, but how far ahead of this is me?
It's about a mile, 2 miles ahead of him. Back to radar for a minute. Let's give him an update on what's going on. It's just right on the southeast side of Salina right now with a tornado. Mike? So you're coming in on it. You're coming in on the, I would say you're within about a mile or so. It's right there to your east-southeast, about a mile, half mile. Be very careful.
Okay. Got a good view of it now. I've got
all right.
So we got some some lightning here.
Okay. And so this is a tornado crossing the lake again. And so this is the other tornado. Let's go up to Grand real quick. Vaughn, we're going to let you go for a minute. We got to get up to Grand. And Alan, you got anything up there too? You got to talk about?
It's still circulation now, south and east of Winona, just northwest of Barnsdall. Okay. That's still a tornado warning there, and very strong circulation. We'll check it with Darren. He's right ahead of it. So folks there, take tornado precautions.
All right. Well, let's come back for a minute. And so we're going to go here, but then I got to get up to Grand Lake. So Vaughn, go ahead. You got more power flashes? Yeah.
Yeah, power flashes on the east side of Salina. It's going to pass to the east of Salina, I believe.
Yeah.
I was looking right at it when it flashed. So it is due even with Salina, just off to the east of Salina, I think.
All right, back to radar, please, if we could. Right, yeah, it's a tight, yeah, that is a definitely tornado. That's wrapped back up really bad. So you are due east. It is due east. I don't think you can go any place east of Salina. You're going to have to, Michael, I'll let you talk to Vaughn so he can get through town. And if you have something, let me know. But that is east. You're right. It's just now east-southeast side of Salina. And let's go full screen on the map for just a minute. And let's come into city streets to the east-northeast of town there. So what you're looking at, he's coming in. The tornado's there at 4418 Road, there it is, 498 Road, and then Kenwood Drive. You have a tornado right now. You have to be in cover at this very moment. And then that's extending now to the east-northeast, so that's moving fairly rapidly. 4430 Road and also 492 Road. If I'm mentioning any of this, 430 Road, just east of Salina, east-northeast, you have to take cover now. And then east of State Highway 20. Because this is a tornado on the ground, very dangerous. This time of night, it's extremely dangerous, and it's rain wrapped in there as well. All right, let's go up to Grand Lake real quick, and then we got to go back up over to Allen because he should have Darren at that time. The circulation feature is still there. It's not quite as strong as it was. Notice how it was tightened, and now it's weakened just a little bit east of Disney. This is on the south end of the lake at this point, so it's just hugging the lake, the south shore of the lake. Strongest winds now are just past the Skiatook, and not Skiatook, Oklahoma. This is Skiatook Road, as you see right in here, and just to the northwest of Dogwood Road. Can you come in a little bit closer on that, and a velocity, if you could. So this is over the southeast arm of the lake, and so that circulation now on 366 Road and Tulip Tree Trail. So you're right near what is a tornado or strong damaging winds, not quite as strong as it was. Let's go to Alan with an update. Alan.
Okay, we're still tracking this storm now that is just south of Barnsdall. Tornado warning still continues here, moving north-northeast, 20 near 30 miles per hour. Barnsdall, Avant, Oshaleta, Ramona. This is going to cross the county line and move into portions of Washington County. That polygon extends now from Washington County. It does track into far northern Tulsa County and then across the northern arm of the Lake Skiatook vicinity. Darren is very close to that right now. And yeah, the sirens are going off there in Ramona as well. Stacey's pointing that out to me. But Darren is very close to that. We're going to try to check in with Darren here momentarily, but we have that tornado still in progress near Salina as well. But we not only have that, Travis, back to the south and southwest, there's another tornado warning underway that would be around Jennings and the Merrimack area. You folks around Jennings on 412, that's moving east, a potential tornado there as well.
All right, thanks, Alan. And then, so the circulation right on. You see what happened here. That just went right up. Vaughn's right in it at this point or close to it. You can see where he is located. We're looking at what's called correlation coefficient, which is there a high probability that we have, it was on the ground, it's confirmed, and power flashes, still tight rotation just east of Vaughn right now. I don't know, Vaughn, do you still get power flashes?
Yes, still getting power flashes.
The tornado's still on the ground, east side of Salina. You got to be in cover.
It, Joel, right there.
Got to be in cover right now.
That's it.
East side, and flashes. And also want to welcome our News on 6 at 9 viewers. Thank you for joining us. We have a very, very volatile night across eastern Oklahoma. We have tornadoes on the ground right now, if you're just joining us. Not in Tulsa, but along the areas from Grand Lake, extending back to Hudson. At this time, there's flashes of light and power flashes. Are those power flashes that I'm seeing? Vaughn?
Flashes, some lightning.
Some lightning.
Some power flashes and some lightning, yeah.
Okay. It's just a combination. Tornadoes on the ground. Let's go back to radar. Let's go back to radar, please, if we could. So this is tornado just east of where Vaughn is located. He's going to get separated from because he has to be on Highway 20. But we can say he's confirmed it. 498 Road. You can see this 990 Road. This is going northeast right now. Well, let's do a storm track if we could. That'll get him along Highway 20 coming up in just a little bit. So this is east, northeast of Salina. Tornado on the ground. We're going to go back up to Grand Lake, and then we're going to go on over at this point to Allen for another update. So this is a Spavinaw, 912, Spavinaw Lake, 916, Uche, coming up at 924. So this area, this is a tornado. We do believe this is going to do some significant damage with what's going on right now. So you are east of Salina. This is where the tornado is located. So from Salina, here's Salina, and it just went through your area. So that's coming up. Vaughn, you're getting awful close to the center of circulation again because that's paralleling you. So be very careful right there. So are you getting power flashes to your southeast or east?
I'm looking off to my east. I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing lightning right now.
Okay.
Not seeing power flashes. I'm trying to keep a handle on which way my winds are, but these roads make it a little bit difficult.
Yeah, and you're going to go north just a little bit here for another mile or so, and then you're curving east. So you'll be getting right into it. So I want you to be slowing down a little bit. Let's go up to, and Michael, I'm going to have you watch Vaughn, if you would. And you have strong south-southwest winds, did I hear? Okay. All right, so he's right in the midst of it. All right, be careful right there, Vaughn.
The GRDA confirms.
Tornado?
Yeah, it's just east of Salina on Kenwood Road.
Okay, so yeah, and we can
So right
confirm
there.
that
Yep.
with power flashes, and that's a continuation of the problem. And Michael, I'm going to have you or Stephen, if you would, just make sure he knows that the road's going to turn east and go right into, he's going to run kind of into it because it's going to go with that. So he's right in the middle of that, and then let's go up to Grand Lake and then go down. So we had just did a storm track. This is the storm now that's out to the east of Ketchum, still tornado warning in this area. This is on the southwest side. Now, this is when it was tightened up. It has weakened, broader circulation, so this is a chance that we're just getting wind damage and a small tornado, and I'm saying just. That's how bad the weather is tonight across the area. So this is the south arm or southeast arm of the Grand Lake area, south shore that has just gone up across the areas, and so that's why we're watching that. Okay, and the circulation, unfortunately, still there, and I'm going to have you go in on City Street just for a moment. I got to go. Alan, I'm going to be right with you. City Street real quick, and I'm going to tell. All right, so East 340 Road right now, and then 544 lane, East 328 Road, South 550 Road, Dennis, any place around Dennis, take cover, and then just north and west of Dennis up to Grove, because that's coming in right on the southeast sides of Grove, south and southeast sides of Grove. That could come into Grove if that keeps moving north. You could have a tornado in Grove here in just a minute or two. So just be advised for what's going on right there at the Grove area. And, all right, Alan.
Okay, I have two tornadic supercells that we're tracking right now. One continuing to produce tornado occasionally off and on. It's going to be very close to Barnsdall. That's moving east, slightly northeast at 20 to 25 miles per hour. So from Barnsdall, Avant, Oologah, Ramona, of course, you need to take your tornado precautions. Darren is right in that area. If we can talk to Darren, if he's loaded and locked, ready to go, we can do that in just a minute. So folks around the county line, this is going to cross over the county line. There's a boundary that this updraft is trying to stay very close to that might keep this moving on. So that is going to be moving eastward. So folks around Avant, Barnsdall, Ramona, Oologah, you need to take your tornado precautions. This circulation has a history of producing some tornadoes occasionally. All right, Darren, tell me what you're looking at in your location at this point.
All right, Alan, we are on the Birch Lake Dam. Now, we're looking south-southeast, and there is one monster of a wall cloud that's creeping off to the east. But I can report to you that there is definitely not a funnel, no kind of tornado or anything like that. And so just a big rotating wall cloud at this point. If anything changes, you'll be the first to know, Alan. Back to you.
Darren, we greatly appreciate that. Now, one more track. We're going to take it down south. So I've adjusted the radar to get your bearings here. This is going to be near and south of Cleveland, just west of Keystone Lake, just north of Manford, near Jennings. You can see Marty is right ahead of this supercell that's moving eastward. This also has a tornado warning on it as well. So circulation is rather broad, but still there, north of Jennings, near Howlett, just to the east of Merrimack. It's moving eastward at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. I would say right along 412 from Cleveland south to Prue, Westport, Shady Grove, Manford. Take your tornado precautions. Again, we have two storms just to the west. Those are moving east at 20 to 30 miles per hour.
All right, so much going on right now across the area. Broad picture. Thanks, Stacia, for widening us up. Tornado warnings right now for Grand Lake, also for the east of Salina. We have the tornado warnings coming in on the north and west sides of Tulsa. Supercell storms, big picture as you see right now. We've had a tornado go near Joplin. That was with a tornado that went up to Pitcher in Miami area that Alan covered for a long time. Nothing to our south. There's a boundary right here that's causing all of this to happen. We have winds coming into these storms, rotating them around. Let's go right now to the tornado warning that is located where the guys, where Vaughn is located. So this is still wrapped up now south of Spavinaw. And so this is right, Vaughn's looks like he's right behind it. It's not quite as tight. It's still there though. And so this is where he is located. These are going to cycle. They're going to get stronger. then they'll weaken a little bit, then they'll get stronger. That's how tornadoes normally do, unless you have a massive supercellular storm that just continues to feed on it. But these are in a position to where we're going to see continuation of some of the strongest winds, and the circulation feature now is a little bit further just south of Spavinaw. Vaughn is in that area. Vaughn, do you have any power flashes yet? Because that's embedded and we're having a hard time seeing too much, other than it's still rotating, but it doesn't look as intense.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any power flashes. Not since the last time I talked to you, Travis. Just kind of been inching along to let it get to the north of me, so I didn't cross its path. But I'm starting to get some better viewing here, so I'll be able to get a view of the JD to Mike Brogan.
All right, thanks, Vaughn. Appreciate it. And so that's what we have there. Brandon is down by the Salina area at this time. And Brandon, I don't know if did you see any damage? Is he okay? All right, but that's okay. I just wanted to know if you had. Brandon, quick update. Any damage that you saw around Salina?
Travis, I confirm that I don't have any damage at my current location. Lights are still on here in Salina.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Let's go back radar. And so circulation continues now from where we're located from. It's just to the east, and then also up around Grand Lake. Let's go back to velocities if we could and look at that. So south of Spavinaw, be careful. We're still looking at the rotation now around the Grand Lake area, and this is now located just near the Grove area. And so if you're around the Grove to Dennis, this is the circulation feature coming in a little closer. If we can go full screen for a minute and take a look at that, and then we're going to see what's happening right here. So this is Grand Lake circulation right in here. All right, so we think that has weakened a little bit, but if you're at any place around Grove to Dennis, strong winds, 50, 60 miles an hour. Can you get some wind? Okay, estimates there. So this is going to track right across the lake, and you can see what's going on here as it starts to move to the northeast. Now it's going to go a little bit more over the lake, and then right around the Grand Lake area right in here. So the tornado warning continues till 10 o'clock for this area, and you see that's butted up to the north side now. And Stacia, what's that? Is that just a continuation of that?
Yes,
pushing that to the north?
It will be. They're issuing also down by Spavinaw, so they're just going to continue the south side where Vaughn is located.
Okay.
The area of circulation there just south of Spavinaw, so they're including that now into Delaware County.
Okay. All right. Thanks. And so those are the locations off to the east. Back to the south and west where we are located with Vaughn. That, again, does not look quite as tight as it was before. South of Spavinaw, there's still an indication, though, that there's rotation just in advance of him. There's also a little bit of an indication right in here, primarily, though, just south of Spavinaw. So this is where Vaughn is located. Vaughn, what kind of winds do you have right there now?
I can't tell. I'm trying to keep moving here.
All right.
But I do have a lowering off to my northeast right now.
Okay.
There is a bold type of lowering. All right?
Yep.
Back to you.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. All right, let's go on, and don't forget we are simulcasting on our radio stations as well, 1170 AM and as well as 92.9, 98.5, 99.5, 106.9. All of those simulcasting with us right now as we have storms coming in from the west. Let's talk to Alan and get an update on the storms out to the west. Al?
Yep, two tornadic supercells that are continuing to produce tornado warnings. Those circulations are broad. They're not as strong as they were about 20 to 30 minutes ago, but still moving eastward. And that's why we still have those two separate tornado warnings that are underway. You can see those two flashing red polygons. So that's going to be across extreme eastern sections of Osage County. It does clip the far northern Tulsa County area near north of the Skiatook region, and then also into the southern areas of Washington County. So that would be from Oologah to Ramona. That's the northern storm that Darren is on. We'll check in with Darren if that's a possibility here, guys, coming up in just a minute. And then to the south, around the Cleveland area, you can see Marty is just ahead of that circulation near the Jennings area moving eastward. That's moving east, I would say maybe around 20, 25 miles per hour. That could move very close to the Keystone Dam vicinity. So we'll put this at east at 20, near 30 miles per hour. So again, Keystone Lake 936, what is it? 912 right now. Cleveland at 919. This has had a broad circulation, kind of a persistent circulation. Right now it's not very strong. That's the southern area, the one to the north. Do we have time to check in with Darren on this?
If you can, quick, that'd be great.
All right, let's check in. Darren, near the Barnsdall vicinity, your experience there, what are you getting in terms of your wind? Oh, just dropped. All right. Well, we can definitely see he's in a lot of heavy rain right now, so he's going to track that storm. I'm sure he'll get back with us and give us an update. But a tornado warning continuing for that cell.
Okay. All right, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk to the news department because we're something about barges. But here's the thing. Tornado warning still in effect for eastern portions of Mayes County. That goes up into Delaware County around Grand Lake. So we're watching those. Out to the west, this is where Alan was talking about. These are coming in on the north side of Tulsa County before too long. We've got them in Pawnee County and also in southeastern Osage County, southern Washington County. So what we're going to do is we have to get some other breaking news in right now from the news desk. Let's go over there real quick.
Travis, thank you very much. And this is a potentially very dangerous situation, as well as those two barges have broken free on the Arkansas River from the port of Muskogee. And the city of Webbers Falls is encouraging folks to get out of town. Actually, they're telling everybody, get out of town
immediately.
Right now,
Immediately. They say the barges are loose. This is from the town of Webbers Falls and has the potential to hit the lock in Dam 16. They say if the dam breaks, it will be catastrophic. This is a direct quote from the town of Webbers Falls. Now you can see here, this is a map. So these barges, and we had a picture of them up just a few minutes ago, they have already cleared the Highway 62 bridge. Now, they still would have to clear the Highway 64 bridge before they would take aim at that lock and dam. And the lockmaster in charge of Lock and Dam 16 says he disagrees that it may not be catastrophic, says worst case scenario it would break a gate or two and cause certainly tremendous flooding. But the town of Webbers Falls is not taking that approach.
And that's why they're telling everybody to go ahead and get out of town right now. We do want to let you know that the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is monitoring the situation and has state troopers on the ready. They're there at the Interstate 40
because
bridge.
That would be next.
That would be next. If it makes it through the lock and dam and makes it past the other bridge there, it could hit the I-40 bridge support. So,
and of course, I-40 is closed from both lanes, east and west, from Ross Road to Vian. So they've got that under control, at least in terms of no one being in danger there.
Right. Ross Road is mile marker 29 near Vian. So they've got it shut down right now, and again, they're urging folks to just get out of Webbers Falls at this point. They are working with those helicopters again to try to find those barges and try to figure out a way to slow them down. But we remember what can happen when a loose barge hits a bridge support. The I-40 bridge collapsed back in 2002. Obviously, a very deadly situation.
And I don't even think we'd mentioned that, Craig. The Muskogee Police Department say they do have life flight planes up with spotlights trying to find the barges. So it is certainly a frantic search going on right now along the Arkansas River near Webbers Falls. And everyone there, once again, the town of Webbers Falls is telling you to evacuate immediately.
And because the river is moving so quickly and so unpredictably right now, we can't give you a time frame on where that barge might be. So we're going to continue to monitor this situation. Obviously, the weather's a big concern, but one important note to pass along tomorrow: schools in Muskogee, by the way, for you parents, canceled for tomorrow.
And Sand Springs as well. Travis, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. And so we have had sirens going off in Sand Springs, by the way. That was for the storm that's to the north, but it did encompass at least the northern side of Sand Springs, so some of the sirens went off. So it's right now, you are not involved in the tornado warning that's just to your north. That's the only thing. So we have a lot of things happening. The flooding potential is still there. We still have Lake Keystone, by the way, 250 or going up 215,000 cubic feet per second. So the water level is going up in the Arkansas, in the Tulsa area here. It's that was at 6 o'clock. I think they opened the gates. So it's about 3 to 4 hours from Tulsa downtown, 4 to 5, I think. And so that'll raise the water level right now on the Arkansas River potentially another foot or so. So just be advised that's coming up. And we had pictures of River Spirit Casino a little bit ago while it was light from Sky News 6. All right, so let's recap. Tornado warnings still to the east. Also tornado warnings to the northwest. We're going to go to the east first, take a look at what's happening at this moment. So we have two areas of concern, the Grand Lake area and then back to the south and to the west. Grand Lake area and to the southwest. Both of these have tornado warnings associated with them. Vaughn is into the Spavinaw area. The circulation now looks to be strongest just near the Uche area, and from Uche then extending back to the, and you see Uche right here, and so the circulation is tightened up a little bit right in here to the west from Spavinaw Lake area, Cleola, and back to the southeast. So if you're in this zone, I'm going to get out of the way so you can see some of the towns, but from Uche, and that is rotating right there to your west, and that's going to be headed possibly toward Jay in just a little bit. And so we still expect a cycling process going on, and that looks like it just ramped up again. just right there in that latest update. That's a little bit above the surface now, away from the radar, but that's still indicative of a rotating storm, potentially a tornado on the ground. It's had a history of tornadoes, so this is west of Uchi. You need to be taking cover at this moment for the storm at Uchi, and you see the storm track that Stacia has put together. Jay at 9:31. Uchi basically coming up here in the next few minutes, 9:22, so that's about 4 minutes away from you. You need to basically find a safe spot right now. Let's go up to Grand Lake and take a look at that. That storm is now around the Grove area and also the Shangri-La area. The rotation does not look as intense as it did a little bit ago, but it is still strong. It does. The winds are still strong in this area, and we want you just to be advised. So we cleared it off a little bit, and you see where the strongest winds are now west of Grove, and that is going to continue. We think that the circulation has weakened enough, and the southwest one is stronger, but it's coming in on Grove, so wind damage potential for you is high. We still have the tornado warning for you, and then we have the tornado warning for the Uchi area for this cell coming in there. Now, Vaughn is located in an area, and the tornado warning until 10. We're at 9:19 right now. Additional thunderstorms are back to the west of Spavinaw, so we're still watching what's going on there. That's the one that's to the east. Now we're going to go out to the west with Alan, who has more updates. Alan.
Okay, tornado warning still continues for the storm that's moving out of the Osage County area. It's clipping southern Washington County. This is south of Bartlesville, north of the Tulsa Metro, but it does cross the county line into Washington County. I have two circulations now. I have one near the Avant area and one trying to take hold near Barnsdall. So what I'm going to do is track this entire area that is moving to the east, slightly northeast at 25, maybe 30 miles per hour. So Oologah, 9:35, and the estimated time of arrival. Ramona would be at 9:33. Darren Stevens was in front of this about 10 to 15 minutes ago and reported a very large wall cloud with this. And this storm system has a history of producing some tornadoes when it was closer to the Winona area. So again, that's the first supercell. There's another one that's still back behind it near Cleveland. We'll put the track on that in a minute. We're looking at Darren's shot on the side of the screen. Is Darren available at this moment?
Yes, he is.
Okay, Darren, if you can tell us your location and what you're experiencing, of course, on the wind field there. All right, look, we may have just lost him, and that's it. Okay, Darren.
No, Alan, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, Darren, give me your report there as you're right ahead of that first part of the system that still has some circulation.
Yeah, last time we talked to you, Alan, we were sitting on the Barge Dam, and I think the word we used was a monster wall cloud. This thing has even gotten bigger as it approaches. It looks like it's going to pass near Ramona on 75, but we're here on the north side of it and can see it really well. So we'll be able to guide you in all the way. Back to you.
Okay, and also Tim Crone is also just to the east, to the north of Ramona. So we'll have this well covered. It's going to continue to move east. Travis, one more quick up. Boy, look at this. This is going to be south of Hominy around the Cleveland area. And that is continuing to show signs of rotation. Let me throw a track on this. It's going to be moving eastward now at maybe 25 to 30 miles per hour. That speed is going to change a little bit off and on, but it's trying to rotate still. Keystone. Yeah,
right there.
Okay, yeah, Marty. If Marty's on, let's take a look at Marty there. He's been tracking this system. Marty, what can you tell us about this storm? You've been tracking it along 412.
Okay, we're talking to a firefighter right now from Jennings. They did see some lowerings out west of town, and that's what happened when I talked to the firefighter back in Jennings. That they did see a lowering west of town. They blew the sirens 10 to 15 minutes ago, but I think their concern is probably going to be past them. But there's still a lot of tags hanging down, and it's, of course, dark, very difficult to see what we've got going on. You're looking for power line flashes, which we're not seeing anything right now. So we're going to hang with it. Back to you.
All right, Marty Logan, we appreciate it. Margie, Darren, Tim Crone, everybody's tracking those two supercells. Travis, tornado warnings continuing. Those are moving east.
All right, thanks. Let's go back to off to the east, and we still have a just even a radar hook echo that is significant around the Uchi area. So this is most likely a strong indication of either a tornado and it's just wrapped up so big on Uchi right now. So I think this is a tornado on the ground at this point. Vaughn is in the midst of this. I think he's just to the north and west. So if you're in the Uchi area, you have to just take cover. Highway 20, tornado warning for you guys right now. So this is ramp back up into this area. Hail, this is a hail size up there. It could be a golf ball size or so Also with this, we're seeing the strong indications of shear right in here, just southwest of Uchi, and that is coming in on town. You need to take cover right now. Probably a tornado, more than likely at this point. And Jennings? Jay. Okay. And Jay. So from Uchi and to Jay, because that's coming up on Jay. But right now, immediately, Uchi, you have to take cover. Tornado likely on the ground, moving into town just in a little bit. Strong damaging winds, large hail to your north, and then that's going to track right across over to Jay. So this is a hook, and it's wrapped up, and it's coming right around here and just north of Lake Uchi at this moment. JD is looking at it from the southwest. JD have a shot by chance, or at least can talk to me where he can look into that from there? You think so, Stephen? He's not online? Yeah, Vaughn. Okay. Hey, Vaughn, I know you're kind of stuck in right behind it, but what do you have for us?
Yeah, just a lot of lightning, a lot of rain looking off that way. It's just tremendous amount of lightning in that area where that rotation is. So I'm headed right into it, though. We're going to try to catch it right about Jay. Back to you.
All right. So power flashes, you don't see any of those, but this is wrapped up significantly. So we do have a tornado right now, I'm pretty sure, in this area. And so it's right at State Highway 20. Where's Vaughn? Is he back behind Cleota? Right there. Okay. Okay, Vaughn, that would be, how many miles? Can you give me that? Because it's with a date on there. I can't even tell for sure how far Vaughn is away from that right now.
3.5 by the crows.
Vaughn, try it from the circulation, would you? From Vaughn to the circulation, over by Uchi. Vaughn, if you're still listening in at this time, it looks like that's a tornado on the ground, and it is about 7 miles to your 7.5, maybe 8 miles now to your southeast. So just be advised, but you're going to be behind it. So the tornado is right here, Uchi, right now, over Uchi, just to the northwest side of Uchi. So this is going to cross the highway right in front of Vaughn there. It's just about 5-6 miles in front of him. So you can see the circulation right in here. That's moving back to the north and east. They'll be heading toward Jay, maybe just on the north side of Jay, very close to Jay. If you're Jay or to the north, take cover right now. We're going to go back to Alan in just a minute with another update because he's got to get an update from Alan, or from, not from Alan, but from Darren. And then also up to Grand Lake, I want to just point out one other thing that's going on. The Grand Lake storm to the north, circulation feature is not lost, but it is not nearly as strong for you guys. It has weakened. It's still right in this zone right here. And we're also farther away from the radar, which makes it a lot rougher to be able to see a thing except way up high off the surface. So that is still a tornado warning for Grove. We still want you to be very careful of what's going on. And then this, if you could widen out just a little bit so I can show the other one down the south. So the one down the south is the one that's taken over from the Uchi area. So the Uchi area to Jay. You guys got to take cover right now. These are the two areas that are most likely to be hit by a tornado as we speak, and that goes to Jay back to the north somewhat. And JD wasn't on the line. Is he back? Still not there? Okay, that's the problem. He's over Lake Uchi right now, but I bet he's got a view you wouldn't believe. Do we have his video by chance? Before 37. Let's. Is that him on the lower left? Nope. Okay, there he is. It is 37. Okay, all right. So he stopped. Somebody's. I don't know if they're. I see somebody running across. That's on the lake right now. So I don't know if he's out helping somebody or if they're just waiting for that to go across. We're going to look for, as soon as this car goes by, I'm going to have you put that in front of the screen again if you can. And so I can point at something out here. So that car's going away. So what he should be looking right into that area. So he's getting a lot of lightning, and we'd be looking for some flashes that could give us an indication. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here with this, and we can't talk to him right now. He's got flashing lights. Can't tell if that's a warning or if that's a car stalled or something happened right there. All right, there it is. So we had a flash of light. All right, let's go back to radar if we could. Tightened up, right on Uchi. Take cover, Highway 20. It's Vaughn's over at Cleota, so he's behind it right now. Jay to the northeast. Any place around Jay to the northeast, take cover. Who is? JD. Okay, JD, quick update. Just can you give me a quick update? What's going on that storm to your northwest?
Yeah, I'm on the bridge over Lake Uchi, and there's a very large lowering to my northwest. I can't tell if it's on the ground, but it is very large. And I mean, as far as I can tell, I mean it's touching, but there's a hill. So if you are in Jay or around Lake Uchi, you need to take your tornado precautions.
Yep. Okay. Hey, thanks. And then we'll let you. Are you going to stay there? Are you moving north, or what are you doing?
Darren to Michael.
Okay. And then
I'm going to creep north as this thing's moving east.
Okay, all right. Let's go. We got to go to Allen too and find out what's going on in the storms west of Tulsa. Again, we have the storms that are that I'm on the way east, and he's to the northwest. Allen.
Yeah, we still have 2 supercells we're tracking with tornado warnings that are underway. We're going to start with the southern one right now. We'll get to the northern one in just a second here, but this is near and east of Cleveland. This is moving east at 20 to near 30 miles per hour. So the tornado warning continues on here until 9:45. The circulation near and just east of the Cleveland area, that is south of Hominy, and it's very close to the community of Osage, and also just slightly northwest of Prue. So on that track, it would be right in this general area that you would need to take your tornado precautions right now, away from walls and windows, interior, most room there. It looks like it's doing more east than northeast. If it's for some reason started to drop a little more to the south, it would get across the Keystone areas right across the proper lake to the south. But it looks like maybe on the northern leg of that, the northern arm, it may also influence once again folks in and around the Skiatook Lake area for areas to the south. So let me kind of zoom in. So if you are in this area, you'll need to take your tornado precautions as this cell is moving again to the east at around 20 to 30 miles per hour. Now hang on, I'm going to reposition the radar here. Take a look. The circulation that I've been watching closer into the Barnsdall event vicinity seems to be changing its shape just a little bit. But the potential is here around Oologah, Avant, the Ramona area for the tornado circulation to continue on. So again, the tornado warning is going to continue here. In fact, a new one will be issued. Nowata, Osage, Rogers, and even Washington County near Ramona, moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So again, we've got 2 parts of this circulation. This is going through a cycling phase. We've seen this all night long. So at this point, I'm going to put it on what appears to be the dominant circulation, and Darren and Tim are pretty close to that. So let's check in with them if we can. This is moving east, slightly northeast at 30. So that would be Ramona at 9:31, Talala at 9:45. And there may be another circulation that's still trying to develop a little bit to the west, southwest of the Oologah area. So I would say all in through here, near Barnsdall, Avant, Ramona, Oologah, you need to take your tornado precautions. So we have Darren and Tim both there. If we can check in with them, let's try Darren Stevens first. We'll go to Tim in a second. Darren, your location, and are you getting any strong winds now off the front of that?
You know, Alan, we're right here in Ramona and Highway 75, and not really. It's the circulation appears to be very broad. It's really spread out more than it was earlier from our last report. Over by Barnsdall, and so that's a good sign. And maybe just cycling right now, but right now it doesn't appear nowhere near as strong as it did. So there's no funnel, no tornado, or anything like that, Alan.
Yeah, I think that's what we're seeing here. The radar, the circulation is cycling a little bit. I'll tell you what, Tim, you hang in there. We need to get back to this other circulation to the east. Travis?
Hey, yeah, it's wrapped up more. And so this is the one right now, Jay. This is a tornado. And so, Vaughn, you're running into it now. You're probably just a couple miles away from it, just to your east, so watch out. Tornado, I expect it to be on the ground. This is above the surface a little bit, but it should be on the ground. Jay, you got to be undercover, Highway 20, and you see how it is intersecting as we look at it, moving almost, I would say, almost not quite due east, east-northeast, I would say. And that's along with Highway 127 as it's coming into Jay right now. And Vaughn, I don't know if you've got power flashes, but man, I tell you what, that should be on the ground right now just to your east. What do you have? And his shot. JD. Okay, let's try JD just to the south. JD, if you can, have you seen any power flashes on this? Because this should be a tornado right now in this area. JD? I see.
Well, Travis, there's so much lightning. I can't tell power flashes from lightning, but this thing just, it looks like it's on the ground. And from my vantage point, it looks very wide, Travis. This could be a large tornado on the ground. Again, I cannot confirm it is on the ground. There's a hill, but this thing appears to be, and it is very large. If you're in Jay, you need to be taking cover right now, Travis. Back to you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is we believe to be a tornado. If it isn't, it's so close. It's not worth taking a chance. Look at that. Look at that. You just saw that. That's a bowl. That's a big bowl, basically. And if that's on the ground, that's awful. Let's go back to radar real quick. And so this is what's happening right now. This could be a significant tornado right now just in Jay and to the west. So I think that I'm going to call this tornado. You must move to a place of safety right now There's no doubt. This is crossing the highway just to the west and northwest sides of town. This is coming in on the northwest side of town. And this goes right along the Highway 20 area. So this is a tornado. Move to a place of safety right at this moment. This is tracking to the east-northeast. If you're in J, this is probably about as dangerous a situation as you can have. Let's go back to the video for one more moment, and then we'll try to see if Vaughn is available. Michael, if you have that. And Alan, let me know if you end up with a tornado or something on your storm right now. Vaughn, a quick update. What do you have? Because this looks like a beast.
Yeah, I can smell fresh wood, so there has been some kind of damage with, at least tree damage, because it's a very, very strong odor of freshly torn up wood. I'm looking to the northeast at it, and there is a large lowering. I do not know. I cannot tell you. Hold on a second. Oh, I've got a great view of it now. Yeah, that is a massive lowering. I cannot tell. I don't think anything's on the ground right now, though, Travis.
Boy.
But, of course, I'm still, 3 miles from it?
Yeah, you're not too far. Let's go back to radar for a second so we can look at that, because I don't have it right now. That is just not even that far. You should be about a mile. Go back. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just saw in a different area. It looked like there was something on the ground. Mike?
Yeah, Vaughn, you're on. You're on.
Yeah,
you're hot.
Okay. I'm getting blocked by some trees right now. As soon as I get something else, I'll holler at you.
Okay, so this is just right there. You can see what's going on in his video, and that's a huge lowered wall cloud. I do think that there's a tornado. And again, it's a weird feeling that you can smell. Unfortunately, you can smell that wood when it's grinding. Do we have correlation coefficient that shows anything? Not showing anything? Okay, well, that's not a bad sign.
No, I don't see anything.
Donut hole, which is a sure indicator, though, this is a monster rotating meso-low right here, or meso. And so this is the tornado just on the north side of J. If it's not on the ground, we're going to be thankful prayers are answered on this one, because this is a big deal right now going to the northeast. So this is just J to the north. If you're to the south, you could get some very strong west to northwest winds of 20, 30 miles per hour at this time. 20 to 30, oh my gosh, about 50 to 80. What do you have, Stacia?
Familiar with J. This is going to be really close to the RFC Event Center.
Okay.
Which is on the north side of J.
It's right in there. So this is the tightened up circulation right there. And I can't believe that he doesn't have any power flashes at this moment on this. So this is just on the northwest side, Stacia was mentioning, near the event center, coming across the area. And so that is what we have right now. And so the looks like it's cycling a tad bit at this moment. So does does Vaughn have anything on the north side on that? Michael, do you have him online? Vaughn, you with me? Can you give me another update?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm getting ready to get on Highway 10. So I'm coming up to it here within 2 miles. So I'll be coming into J really quick.
Okay.
So we can pull up there and see.
All right. We got it. And then I'm going to, Alan, do you have something you need to get across?
Wait, maybe just very quickly.
Okay, go ahead.
I think there was a brief tornado that Darren may have seen with the storm that we're tracking here around Ramona, Oologah area. So Darren had reported just a couple of minutes ago there might have been a brief tornado there. And again, that circulation continues to move to the east, northeast. That's a tornado warning that's underway. Let me correct that track there. And then we also have the second tornado warning that continues now just to the south. That would be around Cleveland, the Skiatook Lake just moving to the east. Both of those are moving east, slightly northeast at 25 to near 30 miles per hour. Tornado warnings do continue.
All right, thanks. And so that's for the storms out to the west. Marty's on that. We're going to get more information there. Here's the circulation feature. It's kind of broken a little bit, as you can tell. So this is just on the north side. Vaughn, I'm going to try to get another update from you. Can you give me another update on what's going on north side of J? And I'm going to have you widen out. Go ahead.
Yeah, still a strong odor of wood. So there has been something on the ground as it came through here. I've not come across the damage path yet. So I'm getting ready to turn north and going to head into J, see if I can get a good view of it. All
right, let's go back to radar for a minute, and you see where Vaughn is. He's coming up on 10, and how it's coming in on the J. So this is just on the north side right now. Pretty high probability of a tornado there. And this is going to be on the east side of our viewing area. Can you zoom out and give us a broad picture of everything that's going on? So this is the tornado warning we're concerned with. The one at Grand Lake is no longer part of the issue. It's primarily just what's going on to the south. Then the other one is off to the west here. So this is a series of several. So the one that Alan's watching here, back to the southwest, we have another one that's located down to around the Keystone Dam, and further west, there's another storm that's near the Merrimack area. So this is a series of 1, 2, and 3. This one isn't as bad as these two, which are tornado warnings. The Tulsa area is in this right down here, and then you're looking to the north, and then you see all this stuff wrapped up and going. So let's go back over to our storm, then we're going to go over to Alan for another update. And so Vaughn's just coming in on this. The hook just shows up on the visual, or on the, I should say, on reflectivity values. It's still rotating very much so across the areas from J to the north. And Vaughn, let's see, you are just coming in on the southwest side of town. So he is just to the south of this right now. So we do believe that this has touched down a couple of times. Haven't seen the power flashes, which makes it just, and it's still a tight rotating area, but it's an overall still a very large area, which makes it the reason why it's probably a big wall cloud underneath this, which is then we're just on top of J, or on the north side of J at this moment. Vaughn's just in the lower left-hand corner. Vaughn, quick update on what's going on.
Yeah, I'm just turning north. Going to have a pretty good view of the wall cloud. Let's see here. This is the first good view of it. There's something hanging down off to the left of the road. Let's see here. I don't know, but it's a massive wall cloud. It looks like a massive bowl. Be to the I'm looking northeast right now as I'm driving. Not seeing anything on the ground right now. I've got a partially obscure view off to the direct north of me, but not seeing anything on the ground right now, Travis.
All right, thanks. All right, let's go over to Alan and get another quick update. What's going on? That's still a tight rotation you're running into, so be advised, Al.
Yeah, and rotation now still across the southern Washington County area with this tornado warning that continues now. You see that polygon that extends into the southern Oologah County, also the northern Rogers County vicinity. And then the second storm, which is still tornado warned near and just north of Keystone Lake. So Marty's on that southern storm. Darren and Tim are both on this northern storm. Let's take the northern storm first. And we can see this has continued to track to the east, slightly northeast. This has gone through a lot of different replacement cycles here. In other words, the circulations have changed quite a bit, but still all along this, there could be some circulations causing a tornado or two. And Darren, if I heard you correctly, about 5 minutes ago, did you see a brief tornado there in that system?
Yeah, we sure did, Alan. It was right at 2 miles to the east-northeast of Ramona. It would be east of the 4000 road and north of 3200 road. And again, this thing is moving off to the east-northeast, so Ramona is in the clear. But it was a brief tornado, brief touchdown, and then it occluded.
Okay, all right, Darren, we'll keep with it there. Tim Crone is also there as well. He's really close in that same location. So this storm is going to continue to move to the east. So all along this, we would give you a little heads up. If you're ahead of it, you want to take your tornado precautions. This has a history of producing some brief tornadoes off and on. That would be near and north of Oologah, the northern areas of Oologah Lake, and from Nowata to the south. Now that's the northern storm. I've got one more here, and this is going to be across the far southern area. So this is a broad rotation that continues now just south-southwest of the Skiatook Lake area. So I'll take this and move it generally to the north. It looks like it's slowed down a little bit, maybe 25, 30 miles per hour. So again, this is going to be moving in this general direction. So not a lot of incorporated cities in this low area, but from Skiatook Lake back down to the south, you would want to take your tornado precautions there. And this will continue on. It may cross the county line. It could get into the northern areas of Tulsa County as well. All right, Vaughn, go ahead.
Large tornado on the ground, north of J.
All right, let's put the J radar on.
Great shot of it. Yep, large tornado on the ground. All of J is out of power. No power in J. And see if we get a shot of it here real quick. It's going to be east of Highway 10 now.
Okay. So this is, yeah, you should be just east, and the tornado back into the picture. Okay. Have you seen power flashes with that?
I have not seen power flashes right now. Hold on. Whoa, I'm getting some strong west wind, so power flashes now. Yep, power flashes.
There it is. There was some.
There it is. There it was. The lightning strike.
You may have a We'll see.
Right there it is, a very large cone. Very large cone on the ground. Right there in the middle of the shot.
Yep.
Right in front of us.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
All right, we've got it. And JD's online too. So both are right by that. So tornado on the ground. As you're going into that area, debris now being lofted into the air. Station just got that. So you see what's going on here. So that is the tornado. This is debris showing up. So there's stuff getting flying up into the atmosphere where the radar is picking it up. So this is on the north side of J, just crossed a lot of businesses right here, Stacia said. And so we're going to get a lot of that. And then let's go back. Very tight circulation right in here, tornado. This is where the tornado is. You can see where Vaughn's located. And so the circulation feature continues across this area. So tornado still on the ground, and that's doing damage right now. It's that'd be 4650 road, heading on over to east 364 road and south 670 road. If you're in those areas, 640 to 630, or 640 and 630 now, and then 640, 650, and 670 along with 364 road. Tornado. Let's go back to Vaughn with more updates. Vaughn.
Yeah, I'm moving north. I'm trying to keep up with it here. It's going to be crossing what? Let's see. I've got trees in my way right now, but it's definitely a large tornado, Travis. I saw many emergency vehicles going south through J, so there's had to been damage south of J. And like I said, I was smelling that wood the whole time, so you knew something was on the ground.
Okay, yeah, and so we've got the tornado again in J, or just northeast of J.
All right, here's tornado path right here. Looks like here's where it came through at.
Okay, we're a few seconds delayed from you. So here's the, let's see what he has. So we have emergency personnel that I see that we're coming up on or flashing, or right behind him. And so the tornado's still on the ground.
Oh, yeah, there's a roof ripped off right here with telephone poles, and a truck looks like it's been blown off of the highway right here. Came through right here, a roof ripped off or at least severely damaged. Right here at the north end of J.
All right, so you can see emergency personnel. There it is, truck in the ditch. And so that just went right through there. J Family Medicine Clinic, you're saying?
In this area, yeah, right at that intersection there.
Okay, so if you're familiar with that in J, then that's a tornado. While he's doing that, let's go back to radar, get a quick update on the storm track. And so it's tight. It's still to his east. Still likely a tornado right here. And we're going to have to talk to Alan, too, about what's going on north of Tulsa. Tornado warning continues in this area. What are we at now? 9:45. And so the tornado warning continues until 10:30. This has been extended. So Vaughn and JD are right on this. This is tracking northeast, as I said, 360 road right up in here. And then that's where we're going to go with that, is that we're going to take it to the east 364 road. It's at 640 road right now. You have to be in cover for a tornado. 628 road, that goes on up to the north and east. Anywhere from 660, 670 road where it intersects with 350 road. You're right in the crosshairs of that. So that's coming right up across your area. Let's go zoom out for a second, and I'm going to go back to Vaughn. Vaughn, another quick update. It should be still on the ground. Does it look like it is to you?
Yeah, it definitely is. And it looks like it's actually, wait a minute, just got a great shot of the wall cloud there. It actually looks like it has grown. Hold on just a second. Let me get some lightning strikes here. Got to time this right without the trees and the lightning strikes. Okay, it did not appear to be on the ground at that time, but that's the whole wall. The whole wall cloud is huge. So the tornado was at one side of it earlier when I couldn't see it. Oh, there's a power flash. Yep. So I believe I would say it's still on the ground, Travis.
Okay.
Still on the ground.
So
lots of emergency vehicles coming through.
Okay, unfortunately. I'm glad they're there. But and so what we're doing is you're seeing the massive wall cloud right in this area. And then you're also seeing, yeah, we're going to do that, Sean, as soon as we can. Over Whitewater?
Yellowbird Hollow.
Okay.
Whitewater Creek site. Whitewater Church. It's all right there in that intersection.
All right. Let's go to Alan with another update here. That's all J. If you're east of J, northeast J, take cover. We got to go to Alan with a quick update.
Yeah, we still track two supercells right now. They're kind of merging along this boundary. Now, I want to give you another quick update. A new tornado warning is going to be extended, or actually issued and extended on the southern cell. So Tim and Darren are tracking the northern cell that has a history of producing some 60 and 70 mile per hour winds and some brief tornadoes. That circulation is going through a cycle right now. It's not quite as stout as it was, but it's still there. Stronger circulation is located just a little to the south, so this is going to be a new tornado warning that is going to be in effect until 10:30, and this is going to include the areas that are flashing in this polygon right in through here. That will encompass the far northern areas of the Tulsa County vicinity. So this is going to be from Keystone Lake through the Skiatook Lake vicinity, and then also extreme northern sections of Tulsa County. And then southern sections of the Osage County as well. So again, this is going to trigger a lot of your smartphones, a lot of your radios. So northwestern Rogers, southeastern Osage, southern Washington, southeastern Pawnee, northern Tulsa County. This is going to be that potential tornadic circulation that's basically around the Jennings area, just north of Walnut Creek, and it's moving east now at 30 to 35 miles per hour.
Alan, thank you so much. So that's a series, and we're as broad as we can get right here for now. I want to point out some things. We have supercells that are all the way up into Missouri. They started, Alan covered those. Tornado emergencies were up by Joplin. We have our tornado from Jay, just northeast of Jay. We have the tornado warnings here. We have the barge that is loose on the Arkansas. And in about 1 minute, I'm going to go to the news anchors. So about 1 minute here, you guys, I guess it'll be coming up. Let's take one last update from the tornado that's at Jay. And then we got to talk about the barge because that's getting real close to the lock and dam, which is obviously a total emergency as well. Still extremely tight rotation right here, most likely a tornado. Vaughn, give me one more quick update here before we go to a news information.
Yeah, I don't have. I'm in heavy rain right now, but I'm going to go into Grove and then go east.
Okay,
see if I can't catch back up with this.
All right, thanks. Be careful. Back to radar. There you go. Let's take a look at what's going on. So that's 670 road, 330 road, and then that extends back up to 331 road. And right now the tornado is located at 335 and 670 roads. So that's coming right across those areas. If you live in these areas, you got to be covered up because this is a tornado, wind damage tornado. I mean, it's a couplet that is very strong and still indicating a very strong tornado going up across this area. So this is the tornado warning, and that's what we have. Can we do a quick storm track, Stacia? Okay, so we're getting into Missouri. Okay, so we're just about out of the viewing area for this one. But if you are in this area, please be advised all the way past Jay. This is a large, damaging tornado potential for you guys. And that's going to go, this is the Missouri line. So we cover through the Missouri line and up to and sometimes beyond, depends upon what's going on or who has us on cable. But that is a continuing track to the northeast. So if you can do a storm track,
I can.
if you would,
a
just
couple things I found in the area, Travis, is Butler Baptist Church and Foray Ranch.
Okay.
It's a couple places I found.
Okay. And we're just going to mention it. So if you have friends in southwest Missouri, so it's Knoll, Missouri, Lanigan, Missouri, be advised. So anything from pretty much from northeast to Jay. And let's come back out kind of wide if you could there for me. Thanks. So this is Jay, tornado warning, northeast of Jay now. And so as Stacia was mentioning, that's getting out into areas that are going to take it into Missouri. But a strong tornado, and we don't think it's going to get any weaker. We think it's going to continue to be strong, maybe get stronger because it's going into an area that's just as bad. Okay, we're going to go over to the news and get an update from what's going on with this barges that are going wild.
All right. Travis, thank you very much.
And we are getting close now. We are told that that barge by Muskogee County emergency managers is going about 12 miles an hour. So we're expecting that it will arrive at the lock and dam outside of Webbers Falls probably in about 5 to 10 minutes.
The biggest concern from the city of Webbers Falls is that it could damage the lock and dam, causing widespread catastrophic flooding in Webbers Falls. So they're asking people to leave town right now. The lock and dam master there does not expect it to be quite that severe.
But it's not good either way.
But it's not good either way. And we want to go right now to News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter, who joins us live with an update to the situation. Reagan?
Well, Terry and Craig, the latest we've been told is these barges are moving at about 12 miles per hour. Now, that's between Salt Creek and Brewers Bend and should be here within the next few minutes or so. Now, I know it's dark right now, but I want to kind of show you that dam behind me right now. Now, we're getting different reports on what could happen if the two barges hit the dam. The city of Webbers Falls says everyone should evacuate now because if the dams fail, it will be catastrophic. However, the lockmaster here says he believes the worst case scenario will be some broken gates. Now, some barges broke loose loose earlier today, but were quickly wrangled by tugboats. But those tugboats were not available tonight when these barges came loose. Now, if the barges keep going past the dam, they'll next come to the 64 bridge, then the I-40 bridge over the Arkansas River. Now, OHP has closed those bridges to traffic as a precaution. They did make it past the Highway 62 bridge earlier without any damage. Again, since no one knows exactly what's going to happen, everyone is still remaining in Webbers Falls. They're being asked to leave immediately. We'll be giving you updates all night long out here. Live near Webbers Falls, Reagan Ledbetter, Oklahoma's Own News on 6.
Can I have a quick question? Is there a lot of traffic leaving Webbers Falls? Does it look like people are, doing their best to get out of town?
It's pretty dark out here right now. We saw some cars heading out there. There's a lot of people actually out here right now that are up on high ground where I'm at right now. They're actually wanting to watch to see what these barges are going to do to the dam. But the area of Webbers Falls seems pretty quiet. Not a lot of traffic on the highway.
Okay.
All right, Reagan, thank you very much. And again, these tugs, they got control of them earlier in the day, but the difference right now is they have no tugs in position to slow these barges down or to stop them.
And these barges have obviously taken a lot of the attention, and once again, they're expected to arrive at that lock and dam very soon. But flooding throughout the Arkansas River is going to be a tremendous problem tonight, tomorrow, the coming days, and so we're going to have lots more of that for you as well.
Right, Sand Springs, Bixby, Muskogee, number of different Tulsa, another number of different communities are really urging people in those flood-prone areas to go ahead and evacuate.
As a matter of fact, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says today alone they have rescued 75 people in water rescues in the Skiatook area. So, people, if you're in that area, please make your plans and get to safety, and don't wait till some emergency worker has to come in and risk their lives to try to get you.
OHP has 4 boats right now in the water near Skiatook and Sperry working that Bird Creek Basin area, and they're going to continue to work until they get enough people out, or as many people out as possible.
Yeah.
So, well, obviously, we still have tornado warnings in our area, so let's get back right now to meteorologist Travis Meyer. Travis?
All right, thank you, guys. So many different things going on, and we still have our tornado warnings here, and so we're going to go look at these first, and I'm going to have Alan get a real good analysis of what's going on with these two. I do want to point out one thing before I go to Alan, though. This tornado warning still in effect, still in our area, just southeast of Grove, and so this tornado warning is still very, very active, but it's crossing into Missouri, so we're just a little bit away from getting into what will be southwest Missouri. If you have friends in southwest Missouri, you can see what's going on here from Southwest City itself in southwest Missouri, properly named, and that's a tornado warning that will be crossing on over just south of Dodge. Stacia just found Dodge on there, so that's Dodge. And then also as that goes over, that will be hitting on into the areas around Saratoga and Noel, Missouri, and they're going to continue with an extensively strong wording on that tornado as it moves into southwest Missouri. Back just to the north and west, this is the tornado going on. Then a hail core is close to where Vaughn is located right now. There's a secondary circulation which is just to the back of that. And so we're going to have to watch that as well, because there could be a possibility, as it has done. The monster cycle is here with a tornado, and then there's also some indication there could be a secondary one trying to form over there. All right, let's go to the north sides, the northwest sides, and west sides of Tulsa with Alan.
Okay, 2 cells that we're tracking here, and the one first that we'll start would be the far southern one. This is going to be around Cleveland and Hallett and Tarleton area. This is moving east-northeast. At around 20-25 miles per hour. Again, the potential is here. This could still cycle up. It is going through some replacement cycles here. We've seen this off and on all night long with these storm systems. 5 minutes ago, circulation was pretty strong. Right now, it's just rather broad. Tornado warnings remain. That's going to be Tarleton, Hallett, Cleveland, Hominy, near Keystone Lake up through the Skiatook Lake area. So that's moving east-northeast. That warning goes until 10:30. Stacia, can you get a track on... Yeah, the northern one, that would be up closer into the Ramona area, and we'll put a track on that as well. So this is going to be on 4. So let's go now from 3 to 4. We'll take a look. This is the next storm system that we're tracking here. So we're looking at the southern one now, around the Tarleton, Jennings, Keystone area. Let's take a look now at the next storm that we're going to track. If you'll put up weather 4, we'll take a look at Lynx 4. And there you go. There's the circulation that Stacia has indicated. That's going to be near and just east of Ramona, and she'll put that into motion. Again, it's kind of a broad circulation. It's going through these cycles again. It looks like it's trying to tighten up just a little bit now, slightly northwest of the Talala area. So that you can see that flashing polygon. That is where the potential developing circulations would be. So if you're residing in this area, we would encourage you to take your tornado precautions. So again, we have a couple of tornado warnings that are still underway. Let's put the reflectivity on that, and we'll show folks this is what they're usually looking at here. So you got the
and Jamestown.
just go ahead and say it again.
Okay, so this, you need to take your tornado precautions if you're in Watauga and Jamestown, and this is going to head your way. This is a circulation that's now just to the east of Ramona that we're looking at.
Okay, so again, tornado warning still continuing on here. We've got tornado warnings technically now for a couple of areas. The one that Stacia's looking at is going to impact part of northwestern Rogers, southern Washington, the northern areas there, just north of the Talala area and Oologah, and then a little more down to the south. Hang in here. We're going to just drive down south on the radar. You can see there's a little circulation now around the Lake Skiatook area trying to redevelop. We're seeing this off and on, and there's another one right back behind it. Darren's ahead of this. He's in a good position to catch this one as it moves eastward. And then Tim also is located just a little bit to the north of the Collinsville area. So those are circulations again. So tornado warnings will continue in both of those areas. Let's zoom all the way out and kind of set the stage now as we're getting closer into the 10 o'clock hour. So that's the storm that JD and Vaughn have been on. That's the one that's been producing what we think is a significant large tornado.
Yes, and that one is going to be in far eastern Delaware County. Now this is going to be over rural land for the most part. This is going to be to the northeast of Jay. If you're familiar with Delaware County, it should stay just south of Grove, but it's actually going to get very close to a community called Dodge. And so let me show you where this area of circulation is now located. It's only several miles just back to the west from the Missouri line, and that circulation is still very evident. The community of Dodge, you can see, is right here. And so if you're familiar with this area, if you live anywhere around 330 Road, back over to 33, that's D331 Road. So again, just south of Dodge, please take your tornado precautions. Remember, lowest level, interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. This has been I would say, a long tracked area of circulation. We do have damage back in the community of Jay, and so we're going to continue to follow this as we get it into Missouri, but it's to the southeast of Grove now. And again, this is far eastern Delaware County. And the tornado warning is going to be extended into Missouri as that tornado does continue to the east. There's also an area of circulation that JD is very close to, and this has been one that we're keeping a very close eye on. This is just to the east of Xena, and so it's not very evident on radar yet, but it's an area we have to watch closely right along Highway 59. This is going to be at the junction pretty much of 59 and State Highway 127. Again, still in Delaware County, but this circulation will have to be watched there just to the north of Jay. Alan, so that's what we have going on over in Delaware County.
All right, that's the eastern areas. Let's go back to the west on links 3. This is going to be around Cleveland, now just north of Jennings, and Travis north of Tarleton. Still a rotation there. It tightens up, it opens up, it occludes. Still the tornado warning that's underway. Keystone Lake would be ahead of that at 10:18. What time is it now? 10 o'clock. Oh, imagine that. Skiatook Lake, 10:28. Marty Logan's in front of that. Darren Stevens is in front of the other storm. Tim Crone is there. Bob, we got folks in great position to track these as they move eastward.
All right, and with that, also with the storms that are to the northeast and to the north and northwest, we're just looking at some of the forecasting and some forecasting models. We're still going to have extensive amounts of thunderstorms in the northern parts of our area. The problem is that we are seeing some 2 to 4 inch rainfall amounts that go with this because they're not ending. And there is a chance that these thunderstorms are going to continue for multiple hours. This is the rainfall rates or rainfall right now that have come through this. Some of this has been in the Tulsa area. This is over the course of the last 6 hours. Excessively heavy amounts of rainfall now in a swath where we want no rain at all because it's just stressed out. And we're at a point where we're seeing 2.5 inches of rain. Aerial flood advisories are in effect for these areas, which means that, again, tonight, areas that are prone to flooding, especially low water crossings. You cannot cross these places because it's going to be devastating. So we not only have the tornado warnings, and the reason that we're kind of winding down on this one, and Station mentioned this, is that it's moving over into Arkansas, but they have a large tornado near southwest City, Missouri, with that storm as that moves to the east. Also in southern Kansas, I want to point out as well, we still have some very heavy thunderstorms going on that are east of, really in Labette County, central and eastern Labette County. Where this rain is falling right now, the rain is going to pile up, going to continue to drain back into the Neosho River. So we've had multiple tornadoes, and now we have flooding potential, and we still have tornado warnings to the south. So we're going to focus a lot of our attention together as a storm team pretty much a little bit more on this area. And also the news is going to want to come back in just a little bit. Sean, do you know what the barges status is right now? Not yet? Okay. Because we're getting close to seeing the barges getting close to the lock and dam. So we'll be going back to the news desk for that. Let's go back to the warnings that are just to the north and west of Tulsa right now. Heavy rains in these areas, flash flooding, aerial flash flood advisories and warnings in effect for all of these locations. Heaviest rains are going through Nowata now, extending back to the southwest. The rotations are still very strong from south of Avant. And then there's several of these roads that are closed, and then the one back around the Cleveland area. And I don't know, Alan, because with the far southwest one near Cleveland at this time, we'd had some of the trackers reporting a possibility of a couple of quick spin-ups. Has Marty seen anything? Because I was so busy on the east side. Did you see anything or hear anything from Marty? And is Marty available right now? Okay. So we're going to look at what's going on. So just east of Cleveland, these are still potential small spin-ups from east of Cleveland and then just right down around the Westport area. So if you're down in this area, we are still active with tornado. Marty is. He is there? Okay. Hey, Marty, I'm looking back to, or I want you to look back to the west if you're there. This is Travis, and we're looking from Cleveland back down to the Westport area on the west arm of the lake. Is there any lightning that gives you a little flash and gives you some information on if you see anything?
Where's you coming to, Marty? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Marty.
Yeah, we are sitting just north of Peru right here on the lake, looking back across the lake and also up to the north. A lot of vivid lightning. There is some lowerings, but right now I don't see. And, of course, you're looking for power line flashes. I haven't seen those. So right now I think we're okay from what I can see. Back to you.
All right. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. So those are the areas we're watching, and we have a tornado warning on that. Marty's looking back into this right now, and this is still indicating strong damaging wind potential around the Cleveland area and still the rotating area that's back down to the south right along the turnpike. So if you're in this area, just be advised for that. It's not nearly as strong as it was. Alan's going to cover the one that's further to the north. Alan, you want to give us an update on that?
Yeah, we're still looking at tornado warned storm right now that is just southwest of the Nowata area. Now right on the, it looks like the Washington-Rogers County line area, also in the southwestern sections of the Nowata County area. That's moving east, maybe now just a little bit to the north and east. I'm looping this so you guys can see where this is continuing to move, and I'm going to use a product. This is called the shear rate. So the winds are gusting, are very strong, we anticipate, in this general region. So we would encourage you, again, you need to take tornado precautions all right in through this area. I would say even very strong winds are a possibility from Talala just to the north, and that would be right on into the southern areas of the Nowata County as well. So that's why that tornado warning continues in. You guys see that right there? So let's stop the loop, and we'll get this track here for you. This is going to continue to move generally in this area. I'm going to track this entire area right into here, even though the circulation features a little more to the northwest of this area. This is moving to the east, slightly northeast now at around 30 miles per hour. So I'm going to encourage everybody in this area to take your tornado precautions. The far northern areas of Rogers County, around Talala to the Oologah Lake area, the southern sections of the Nowata County vicinity as well. As the storm continues to kind of bow out in this general area, not only are we going to have very strong winds potentially along this leading edge here, maybe some 55, 60, 70 mile per hour winds, the potential, it's going to try to reform that circulation. There's not a very stout circulation right now, but that leading edge is kind of gusting out right in front of that, and those winds could be very strong. Could still have some damaging winds just south-southwest of the Nowata area. Maybe a little circulation try to redevelop here. That's why the tornado warning still continues, Travis.
All right. So for those areas, This is probably one of the last big issues that we have, and you can see some of the little bending out here, some of the outflow from some of these. So there is some hope that these could kind of kill themselves, so to speak, as far as rotation is concerned. The problem is the concern transitions a little bit more to flooding issues. There is some issues where there's going to be some highways that are going to be getting closed. I say highways, secondary roads, because of what's going on. Let's go back to where Darren is located near Skiatook at this time. And so he is on Highway 20. And Skiatook, I do believe that's still closed. I haven't heard today because we're so busy on tornadoes. Darren, if you could, and if you're with me right now, can you tell us what's coming in on the west side of Skiatook? That's starting to look just a little bit ominous on what's happening there.
It is, Travis, but I can tell you that the circulation area is very broad. It's not tight. It's very broad. There's a lot of scud associated with it, so let's hope that it keeps that pattern up. But we're going to watch this for a little bit longer, Travis, and the flooding does still continue, unfortunately, here in Skiatook.
Yes, and let's go back to radar for a moment. You can see where Darren is located, and you can see this little dent right in here. And so the circulation feature with that. Back along and further to the south and west, along that leading edge, that's where Marty is located. And that's kind of an outflow right in here. And you can see almost like a donut hole effect southeast of Cleveland. And that's a little bit more just north of Tarleton area and then extending back through. So this circulation feature is still evident right along 412. And so Keystone Lake to Westport area. We can zoom in a little closer to city streets if we could for a moment and then get a look at that. So what you're looking at right now is the best area for bad things like strong winds would be just at the intersection of 64 and the Cimarron Turnpike, 412. And so that is a weak circulation feature. It isn't as tight as it was, but it is right there. And so that's on the south side of some of the stronger shear. So this is going to go from Frontier Shores, New Prue, Westport area, and that's going to continue to cycle up and across the lake as we're looking at that right now. So if you are in this area and you can see it from the radar, and you can just see the visual even from this hook, that's the rotating what we call meso. So it's a meso circulation. So it's just kind of a localized circulation feature with a thunderstorm, and it's just wrapped up. So this is when we start to see some thunderstorm potential for some hail. And looks like there could be a hail core. There definitely is a hail core back to the north of that. And this is in southeastern Osage County. So this is north of Keystone. And so it's from Cleveland, and then that extends back to the north. So this is where we're going to have some hail, excessively heavy rain, and then also with that, as that moves to the east, we still could see as that gets into a little bit better dynamics and away from this outflow, that could change. But the way the circulation feature there, still hanging in. I want to get a quick update from Marty, if you can. Can you give us an update? Marty, if you're there, would you give us an update?
Yeah, still right here. We're looking back over the lake, and I know we're not being able to show you much, but there's a lowered area in there, or it's a tapered down area, I should say. And as soon as it comes a little bit closer to us, we'll be able to see it over these trees and see what we've got. But I'm like there, and right now I'm not seeing anything visually that's scary. Nothing right now. Back to you.
It's very good to hear at this point, and we're going to go to Ellen in just a minute. With what's going on here and then back along this line, again, localized extremely heavy rainfalls, 2.5 inches or more of rain falling in this area. Can't handle really any more water. We have that. We are going to get some news stories in here if this continues to not be as intense. And then Darren, and then this is still just a little bit of a rotating area here, even though there is some outflow. Hey, Darren, a quick update before I go to Alan with the one that's to the north. What are your winds right now?
Travis, maybe 25 to 30. It's just, really nothing to, about. But that, again, that area of circulation is very, very, it's even more broad or diverse than it was just a few moments ago when we spoke.
Okay. And are those winds out of the southeast, or are they blowing in from out the west?
Southeast.
Okay, good. All right, so that's, I shouldn't say good, that's kind of bad. It'd be nice if that was an outflow down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thanks. Let's go over to Alan with an update on that north side.
Well, I tell you what, we'll track the storm right where Darren's at. So just that circulation that he's right in front of, even though it's still weak, moving to the east. Take a look. So that would be right across the far northern areas of Tulsa County. That's in that tornado polygon. Also in the southern areas of the Washington County area. Even though it's a weak circulation, that is something that, we'll be watching. It's near and just west of Prue, maybe slightly north there of that region. And then the other cell that continue to track a little more to the north, that's going to be, again, closer in. Looks like maybe north of the Ramona area, close to the Ramona and Nowata vicinity, as that continues to move a little bit more to the east-northeast. That is really broad. This kind of opened up right now. It's not a distinct circulation with it, but still would have to be watched pretty carefully because it's still in a position that it might try to cycle back up. So technically there's still a tornado warning on that. So we have two very broad circulation features right now that we're kind of watching. The one that we would be somewhat concerned about, again, would be maybe a tightening just south of the Avant area, west of Skiatook, and then also near and just to the west of Prue and south of Cleveland. Both of those areas we would need to watch carefully. It continues to move to the east, and again, copious amounts of rain, unfortunately, that will continue. So those are the tornado warnings that we have right now closer into the metro. If you're watching to the south of town, I-40 area to the south, you guys have been pretty much in the clear for several hours now. Pittsburgh, Latimer, LaFleur, you've had no thunderstorm activity for the most part. And Vaughn is still on that storm well to the east that's crossing over the state line. That's been tornadic as well. Travis, what it looks like right now, the storms could brush the northern half of Tulsa County with those storms that are still near and just west of the Keystone Lake area. So the circulation still around Prue, and then a broad circulation trying to redevelop a little bit around Skiatook south of the Avant area. That's why those tornado warnings do continue.
Look what's still going on.
All right, so we'll continue on here. I thought Travis was ready. So this is going to be.
We're looking at area lakes
Gotcha.
real quick. So if you could go ahead for a minute.
Okay, yep. So that's going to be around the Prue vicinity. We've got Marty in front of that, Darren and Tim. I'll tell you what, let's check in. It's Tim Crone on the line. All right, Tim, give us your report right now, what you're experiencing there. You're in some heavy rainfall just south of Ramona, but how about the wind speeds?
Right now, almost nothing, Alan. It's almost calm, somewhat eerie, but the lowerings I see, they're just more scary-looking clouds. There's really nothing pronounced circulation or I'm just now starting to pick up some small hail, but right now it's just more heavy rain than anything else, but I'll let you know.
All right, Tim, appreciate that. Darren, again, is near the Skiatook area. He'll take that as it moves in. Bob Roloff is also just north of the downtown vicinity, and then Marty Logan closer into the Keystone Lake area as that portion of the storm starts to move closer into him. Is Marty still with you? Yep. Okay, Marty, give me your location there, what you're experiencing. What's the inflow? What's the winds like right now at your area?
Yeah, right now, nothing exceptional. We're dropping back south just a little bit. I'm just trying to get to an area where I can see something. I don't want to get a surprise. This thing just come out of the trees, and I've got a surprise looking at me. So I'm trying to get another place just to my south where I can look back west at it, see what we've got. I thought I could see a lowered area through the trees, so I'm going to drop south, take another look. Back to you.
Okay, hey, Marty, I do want to tell you that the rotation has increased. Travis, the rotation's increased a little bit, just slightly northwest of Prue, just west and northwest of the Westport area. So right in through here, we'll continue to track that. So Marty and Bob are in pretty good shape. They're going to be right ahead of that as it continues to move to the east. So right now, again, that would be Keystone Lake. The northern arm of that would be the potential there. So we still have that tornado warning that is going to be underway for those areas that are just a little bit to the northwest of Tulsa proper. So Marty and Bob will be underway there. In terms of additional tornado warnings, we still have the other tornado warning now that's going to be in effect. This is kind of a continuation, a reissuance for the Craig, Nowata, Rogers County area. This is, again, that circulation there, Watova, moving to the east at 30 miles per hour. So again, this is right in and around the northern areas of the metro and the southern sections of Washington County. This is south of Bartlesville, by the way. And just slightly north of downtown and midtown Tulsa. It's going to be the far northern part of Tulsa County eventually that will track some of these storms in the next 35, 45 minutes or so. Southern Washington County, also far northern Rogers County, and the southern sections of the Nowata County area as well. So we're still not finished with this, unfortunately.
All right. Hey, thanks, Alan. Appreciate it a lot. We're going to do a lake report update. We have the news operations that are going to take into kind of a consideration all the different things going on that we have to get to. I want to point out just one last time, we didn't leave you guys east of Grove hanging, but the big picture is the worst storms you can see are pretty much just on the north side of Tulsa. I want to point out one last thing, and Michael, is Vaughn available? I was sitting there talking to you a whole bunch, and then I didn't even mention there's still the pendant right in this area. We have a tornado off to the east. We still have right at Dodge. Vaughn is located in this area. Vaughn, if you can, would you give us an update, because we're east of Grove right now. What do you have for us, and what do you see on that area? If you're there, Vaughn.
Oh, yeah.
Vaughn, you can go ahead.
I am southeast of Dodge, which is east of Grove, and there is a lowered, well, it looks like a funnel just a little bit. Whoa! Just last rain. Anyway, there's an area of concern right there, just east of Dodge or southeast of Dodge, that could be rotating. I'm sitting right here in the notch, so we're going to keep watching this. Going to chase it out of the state, Travis.
Okay, hey, I appreciate it. Back to a broad view of the radar and give an update, and then we're going to go to a news update. So that's the storm Vaughn is on. We still have our tornado warnings going on, and I'm going to go along this line real quick. This is the tornado warning that we have still for an area that's just north side of Keystone Dam. So this circulation feature is broader, but it is tightening up, if that makes sense. Getting larger and still tightening up some. So this is just near the frontier shores. You can see what's going on right here. So this circulation is going strong. We have a tornado warning on this right now. That is traveling through southeastern Osage County. So this could still produce a tornado at any time. Marty is watching that. Then back along the line a little bit further to the northeast at Skiatook. Darren is on this part. Still strength. There's still some rotation within this zone, just on the north side of where Darren is located. So we're watching this because the potential for a tornado still exists near Skiatook. We do not have anything. The guys are right where they need to be able to see this. And then further to the north and to the northeast, you can see a heavy rains where Tim is located. Hail potential there. And then back on up to around the Talala, north of Talala. The circulation feature is right in here. There's some strong winds in this location. And so there's still very turbulent air going on with this. And this is under a tornado warning right now, just southwest of Nowata. So this is still, it's not real tight, but that doesn't really matter. It's rotating up into itself. So you can see it's kind of a spinning thing going on. Heavy rain just south of Nowata. And so that circulation feature and a tornado warning in effect, that's going to continue to track across southern Nowata. And then we have the tornado warning that's down to the south a little bit. So those are the three things. We do not have any confirmation of any tornadoes on the ground. We'll come right back as soon as we find anything that looks like a tornado other than broad circulations or as it gets tighter. We might have to come back in a little bit, but we do have news right now. Back to you guys at the news desk.
All right, Travis, thank you very much. As if tornado warnings weren't enough, as if historic flooding it wasn't enough, we're also keeping up with the runaway barges on the Arkansas River.
That's exactly right. 2 barges broke loose, and this happened a couple of hours ago, and they've been making their way slowly toward a lock and dam in Webbers Falls, and potentially devastating consequences could ensue from that. We have News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter there, and Reagan, give us an update.
Well, Terry and Craig, we're still waiting out here. The latest we've been told is these barges are moving at about 12 miles per hour, and they're supposed to be hitting this dam or this area in just a few minutes from now. Now, it's so dark out here right now that you really can't tell if these barges are going to hit until they actually hit, because it's so pitch black out here. Now, we're getting different reports on what could happen if the 2 barges hit the dam. The city of Webbers Falls says everyone should evacuate now, because if the dams fail, it will be catastrophic. However, the lockmaster here says he believes the worst case scenario will be some broken gates. Some barges broke loose earlier today, but were quickly wrangled by tugboats. But those boats were not available tonight when these barges came loose. Now, if the barges keep going past the dam, they'll next come to the 64 bridge, then the I-40 bridge. OHP has closed those bridges to traffic as a precaution. They did make it past the Highway 62 bridge earlier today without any damage. Now, again, since no one really knows what's going to happen with all of this, everyone in the Webbers Falls area is being asked to leave immediately. Again, if you live in the Webbers Falls area, you are asked to leave immediately, not knowing what could happen if this dam breaks loose. Live near Webbers Falls, Reagan Ledbetter, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
All right, Reagan, thank you very much. And they were told earlier in the day just to go ahead and leave because of the high water and the
Sure,
flooding
a mandatory evacuation already in place. And they are not the only ones. The flooding threat is continuing and worsening across Green Country. From Osage County News 6 HD, you can see the Arkansas River rising around the River Spirit Casino. Waters forced the casino to evacuate this afternoon. Riverside Drive closed for a couple of hours. And now Riverside Drive is starting to see flooding of its own. News on 6's Justin Schreier has spent all day tracking that.
He's live near 15th and Riverside. And Justin, what are you seeing right now tonight?
That's right. We moved just a little bit down the road. We're at Houston and Riverside right now. I want you to take a look at this. This is the water from the Arkansas River. It's jumped the bank about 20 feet, and now it is just feet away from the River Park Trail. This potentially dangerous flooding is not only affecting people here in Tulsa, but everyone who lives around the Arkansas River. Now, two important things to note. Tulsa Area Emergency Management Agency says that there is an evacuation shelter at Crosstown Church of Christ. As always, if you need any emergency help, dial 911. We also came from the Meadow Valley area of Sand Springs, which was starting to experience some flooding as well. They had Fisher Creek on one side and they had the Arkansas River on the other side. There, Sand Springs police issued a volunteer evacuation there. That was at 6 p.m. Folks could leave. They were advised to leave. Many people did. It was very eerie. It was like a ghost town there just a few hours ago. But once again, here we are down by 15th and Riverside, the Arkansas River here. You can see it's gone about 20 feet in. It is just feet away from the River Park Trail. We'll have updates throughout the entire night here on News on 6. Live in Tulsa, Justin Schreier, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
All right, Justin, thank you very much. Obviously, weather a big concern. Let's go to Travis Meyer. Travis.
Yep, we just have some new reports coming in. We still have our tornado warnings. We have two active tornado warnings, one to the north, just southeast of Nowata. This is wrapping up. And also Tim and Darren are right in an area that is now getting, looks like a little bit more wrapped up. Darren's right on it. Darren, give me a quick update. What do you have? Go ahead, Darren, if you can. He just had a funnel cloud. He might be in a heavy rain for a minute. And so is he there now? He should be there. Darren, I don't know. He probably can't even hear me. He had a funnel cloud. This is just close to and on the northeast side. Let's go back to the radar so we can show where he is because he's getting hammered right now. So this is a location. So this is wrapped up. Okay, he's back. Okay, Darren, if you would, I know you're in rain right now. Tell me what happened just a few moments ago.
Yeah, Travis, on the east side of Skiatook, this thing was headed towards the A-band. Anyway, a large funnel appeared on the east side of Skiatook, moving northeast. Then we got caught up in the rain, and so now we're advancing back to the east. I will have you report this back to you.
All right, thanks, Darren. Greatly appreciate it. So radar again showing where that's located. So just east, he's on 20, just east, and it's raining. We don't want any rain, but this circulation feature right on the east side of Skiatook, and so you can see where that is located. Also, and let's go get away. Let's go full screen here for a minute, if we could, guys. Thanks. So this is where Darren is located. And so we have a couple of concerns, and Tim is just to the north of that. So Tim's real close to it, too. He's in rain right at this moment. And then you can see that this is wrapped up right here, moving on 75. And so that's just to the north of Darren at this moment. So this is a circulation feature just on the north side and moving across 75 at this moment. So that'll be coming right across, and it's northeast Skiatook. So if you're in Skiatook, so we still have heavy rains to your south. But this will continue to track up and through the area. And then back on further to the north, this is a tornado warned storm. And then also back to the northeast on the other tornado warning that we have. This is all heavy rain, some hail embedded in that. The other storm is still rotating right here southeast of Nowata. And you can see how that looks because there's this area right in here that's being pulled in. Circulation feature right here. And the highest couplet area will be just south of Nowata, south and east of Nowata, right there at 28 Road and, well, I should say, 28 east should be, yeah, that'd be 28 Road, and then east 290 Road, and then where that intersects over the lake. So that's Oologah, and so it's just to the east of Watova, and then extends back to Alloy, west of Alloy over the lake, and so that's what we're watching right now. So Alloy's on the east side, and you see the lake and then you can also see the circulation. So this is a little bit more of an intense area of circulation. So we're going to get some strong winds, 50 to 60 miles an hour. We do have a storm track station that's put on there for us. Let's go to Lynx 3 with an update on that. And so at this point, the storm is moving more in an easterly direction. Here's kind of the couplet, as we said, just east of Watova. And even though it probably isn't a tornado, we do have a tornado warning, and tornado can happen any time out of that. So that's going over the lake right now, then to Alloy, and then to Bowling Spring. So if you're in that area, and it could make it over to Sunset, you can see some of the Estella and White Oak. So that'll be moving into Craig County. So that's Nowata County right now, and then also moving over into Craig County and also into northern Rogers County. So those are the two locations. Back onto Lynx 4 for a minute. And so the heavy thunderstorm activity in that area and also back to the south and west at this moment continues to be potential for some hail. Is Tim in that area? Okay, Tim, can you give me an update? Is there hail like where you are? Because it looked like there was a hail core that might have just passed close to you.
I didn't get any hail here, Travis. I did get, just a very small, maybe pea-size, but only a few hit my truck, and just very light winds out of the north here, so maybe it's a little bit inflow to that system down to the south, but torrential rain and just light winds right now.
Well, that's wrapped around just to your south right at this point, so that we want you just to kind of be aware of that. You should run into, are you headed south right now, Tim?
Well, I can. I was just going to sit here a little bit and let it go just to my south. But
All right, I'll have Michael move you to get in a better place, but Darren's right now in some of the heaviest areas of the precipitation. Darren, I know you're in heavy rain. Are you getting any hail mixed in on that right now?
You know, Travis, surprisingly not. I've been expecting it, but we have not. It's just very, very heavy rain, and visibility is near zero cloud.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you go so you can be on the roads there because, man, that's just ridiculous amounts of water. Here is the circulation again. Collinsville, and this is a broad area and broad picture of reflectivity, and we're going to go back to the southwest just a little bit. So there's this area, that area to the north. Marty, Bob are watching the tail end of this right now. I guess we can call it tail end Charlie if we want to, but there is a cell right around the Sperry area that's kind of picking up a little bit, and you can see where Marty is located. You can also see how this pops up very quickly. So this is going to rise up into areas from Sperry and could enhance what's going on with the storm where Darren is located. So this cell's blowing up into that. We'll see if sometimes that has the dynamics to do that. Marty is also on this storm at this time, so he's watching closely because the circulation feature is close to him. Bob is doing the same thing right now. And Bob, if you can, I don't know how easy it is to see what's going on, but just to your west-northwest, can you see any circulation couplet at all or not?
No, I couldn't see any circulation, but there's definitely in between the lightning a wall cloud off to the northwest. I'm out here by the Zinc Ranch. Lightning is still pretty significant, but it looked like it might have tapered off in the last 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. And I appreciate that. And so let's come back out for a broad view of what's going on. And then we're going to go back. Who's that? Marty does. Okay. Hey, Marty, can you give me an update on what you have just to your northwest, Marty?
Yeah, just off to my north, we have a significant lowering, it appears to me. I mean, I think I just came across one part of the Keystone Lake and back to the north, probably running up towards Darren. I'm getting around a curve here, but it looks like a lowered area. I'm watching it in the lightning, and there's a cone down. Yep, there's a cone. Let me see if that's rain. Okay, so I've got a cone on the east side of rain, straight north of me. Cone is pointed. I cannot tell if it is rotating, but north of me, probably about 1 to 2 miles. If that,
okay,
if you can tell where that's at on the map.
Okay. All right, we do see that. All right, you keep an eye on that if you could. That'd be awesome, and then we'll be back. So. On that, because that's still very active place, and there's still rotation, and it's pretty tight. Let's look at, can I go to Lynx 3? What'd you say?
There's going to be a new warning coming out.
Okay, it sounds like it's coming out now. Is that the tornado warning for that one?
This is, yes, this is a new tornado warning.
And that'll be for this cell. So that's one Marty's looking at right now. Yep. So this is picking up right now. So we'll get the statistics on that. You can get that, and I'll have you report that if you would. So where Marty is, this is tightened up circulation. So this is just to the south of Skiatook Lake, just near south of Morgan's Corner. Marty's looking right into it. And so this wrapped up. So we're reissuing the tornado warning. This is just northwest of Tulsa. And so that, and Bob, you can see where Bob is located. And then that will track to Skiatook potentially. 10:57 to 10:58, and also wanted to point out, Chad, are you? Could I? We're okay. Okay. So this is moving off to the east. So Morgan's Corner, right now. So the wrap up is going on right in here. So we could get a tornado out of this shortly. This is north and west of Tulsa, and you see the track. So we can move it a little bit to the east northeast. All right, Stacia, if you would give us a quick update on what the latest coordinates are with this tornado warning, if you would.
Okay, Travis. So this particular tornado warning on the circulation that's near Morgan's Corner is moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. But I also want to point out another circulation. Now, this one that you see on the screen, this is near Skiatook Lake. And again, this is an area of concern, of course. They just reissued a new tornado warning, and that is going to include this area of rotation, and it's also going to include another area that is to the northwest of Collinsville. So this is an area of circulation that we have both Tim Crone and Darren Stevens on right now. And so because of this circulation here, I'm going to track it. And this one's a little slower. This one's going to be off to the east-northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So this is going to take it across 169, most likely heading up towards Oologah at 10:39. Now, I'm expecting that the main area of circulation will stay north of Collinsville. And right now, that main area of circulation is right around 186th Street North, where it crosses over with 4000 Road just south of Vera. And Travis, again, that's moving to the east-northeast at 25 miles per hour. For folks in Oologah, this should be in your area in about 20 minutes. I would go ahead and take those tornado precautions now. Remember, lowest level, interior room, put as many walls between you and the outside. This is just an area of concern, but I want you to be safe and go ahead and take those precautions. Okay, hey, thanks. I appreciate that. So this is the areas we're looking at, Skiatook, and then back to the west where Marty is located, and then back to the east right here. So still very active going on. Darren is right along the leading edge in Collinsville right at the moment. Darren, can you give us an update from your location, because it looks like you're out of the heaviest of the rain? Darren, are you there? Okay, Michael, you were talking. Okay, Darren, I'm with you right now. Travis, if you could you give me an update since you're out of the heaviest of the rain?
Yeah, Travis, to add on to what Stacia was saying, that circulation is going to miss Collinsville. It's on the north side. It's right around the 186th Street north, but it's a very large lowering, and it's ramping up at this time, and it's moving towards Oologah. And so we're out in front of the precipitation now. So if anything, we get a funnel or anything like that, we'll be able to report it directly to you, Travis.
And so again, back on radar, we have heavy rain, thunderstorms moving in on Collinsville. Circulation features just to the north, and it's some hail should be back to the north of Collinsville by about 5 miles on county line with Washington County. Right there, and also we've been here before, just talking about 2 or 3 hours ago with a severe thunderstorm. Oologah right now, heavy rain, thunderstorm, so this is headed in your direction, so we do want you to be aware of that. Back to the north as well, from around areas now east-southeast of Nowata. We've had our tornado warning in this area. This is still going on. The circulation feature that's the tightest now is just east-southeast of Nowata on the north end of Oologah Lake. From Lake Oologah to the east, and then as it extends to just on the north and west sides of Alloy. So if you're around the Alloy area, back on up really from State Highway 28, where it intersects with 250 Road and 240 Road, just coming on, I'll say onshore, basically, will be some strong winds of 50, maybe 60 miles an hour. And that's still the tornado warned area that's on the north side. So if you are in these areas, just know that's coming onshore. This is the lake right in here. You see the outline. So here's the lake, here's land, over there's land, and the roadway. So that's now curving into Alloy. We do not have any tight circulation couplet right there. Good news. This is the north storm. And right around the apex of this storm on the north end of the lake this should be strong winds. To the north would be a little different strong potential for maybe a little bit of rotation. That's still a tornado warning there. Back to the south, and then you can come across the area. And we'll do this again just to make sure that you know. From Collinsville and just south of Collinsville, a little bit of a circulation feature on the south side of town. Darren's looking to the north. I'm going to tell Darren and ask him if he can look to the south. And are you on INX? You flipped it. Okay.
We have our live on as well.
Okay.
If you want to take a look at the
Let's
live
take a look at
velocities.
live for a minute. Yeah. Okay. So around Collinsville back to south, and so it's the north one that we're seeing that has the best rotation. I was trying to see if the south side was going to. Hey, Darren, you don't see anything on the south side of Collinsville right now, do you?
Well, I see what you're talking about on radar, but we're in the middle of town and we can't see because of the city lights. So
okay.
When we clear, we'll be able to
okay.
tell you. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks. Appreciate it. And then back, you can see the main circulation that Darren's talking about is up here, and then we're just looking at something down here to the south, and Tim's on the backside in that area. So that's what we're watching. Back to the west and southwest, still heavy rain, thunderstorms. Bob's there looking into this. Tighter circulation continues just to the north of Marty and to Bob. And Bob, do you have an update for me? What's that looking like right now? Okay, Bob's off. Okay, let's go back on over because that's just west of Skiatook again. Maybe Marty he's pretty close to that. Marty, would you give me an update? What does that look like right now?
Yeah, it's northeast of us now at the part that I'm looking at. It's oh my, yeah, there was a busy cloud. There was a bolt of lightning showed the clouds that would be to the northeast of me. Man, this is so hard to do at night. I'm looking back that way. All I see are busy clouds. I'm not seeing any rotation like a funnel or a tornado, but every time there's lightning, you have a different point coming down and different bases. But there is a lowered area, looks like northeast of me right now, and the guys can probably see it from their location unless it's rain wrapping on them. Very difficult to see, but yeah, there's something there to be watching. Back to you guys.
All right. Hey, appreciate it, Marty. And it is, and so where Marty is located is right here. And he said to the northeast, and that's right where we're tightened up considerably. So that is the rotating area. So Bob's is going to look at that as well. And let's go to links 3 for a storm track of this. And so this is going to take it at this point through Skiatook at 10:56. We're right now at 10:38, and then Sperry at 10:57. So please be careful for this. This is tightening up a little bit. These don't look quite as intense as we've had some of the tornadoes off to the east. Hope that stays the same, but unfortunately it doesn't matter because you'll still get some wind damage, power outages possible crossing over on Highway 20, and that'll be going across Skiatook Lake and into the south side of Skiatook Lake, and then also southeast side of Skiatook Lake, I should say, and then extending along Highway 20 and then back into Skiatook. So this is the tightened up couplet we're looking at for that particular cell. Broad view, and then we're going to try to get a news update, and let's go to links 4 for an update on what it looks like. Links 4, there we go. So a couple things. We have the storms that moved out that Vaughn and JD were on. We have this storm to the north, which is now east of Nowata, continuing with a tornado warning. That's not as tight a couplet, but we're going to watch that. We have the one that Darren is on right now near Collinsville, and then we have the one that's northeast of Marty and to the northwest of Bob, and then we're still seeing this. This is not good. That's just rain. That's bad rain. I never thought I'd say bad rain. Bad rain, and we have lake levels. We're getting some new updates on that. We're going to have some of that coming up here in just a little bit. But first, let's go, because we do not have an active tornado. Let's get some more news information from some of the operations going on in the Arkansas and wherever they have it. Okay, guys.
All right, thank you, Travis. Of course, we've got flooding concerns that we're watching. We're watching that situation near Weber's Falls with the 2 barges. As far as we know so far, you can see that's a live picture there from the lock, that's lock number 16. The concern is 2 barges have broken loose. The concern is if they hit that lock, it could release water and flood completely the town of Weber's Falls.
A couple of different scenarios. City leaders in Weber's Falls say that could be catastrophic. They think that's going to mean an incredible amount of water flooding their town, so they're asking everyone in Weber's Falls. They had already asked them to do this, but they're really reinforcing it. to evacuate tonight. The lockmaster there says doesn't think it'll be quite that bad, but it could damage one of the gates or one or two of the gates, and then that could cause some flooding, but not a catastrophic event. So we just don't know.
Well, but what we do know is that if it gets past this lock, the next potential target would be the I-40 bridge, which of course was hit Memorial Day weekend, 2002?
2002, yeah.
So that highway, I-40, is closed, of course, over the Arkansas River. The Highway Patrol is monitoring that situation. So very volatile here. You can see there's a map of Weber's Falls, and then right below Weber's Falls, of course, is the I-40 bridge.
You can see the lock and dam right there, and then on below that is the I-40 bridge that obviously is a big concern, and it's right there. If you're not familiar with that area, it's right there very close to Weber's Falls, and it could cause significant damage, those two barges that are flowing free on the Arkansas River. Hopefully, there's the potential, I guess, that maybe the current could push them over to the side, and that's the hope that maybe they'll get stuck or hung up on some brush or something like that, and that they don't ram into the lock and dam number 16, which you see right here.
Well, we have a crew in place. We're monitoring it for you, and as soon as there's any new development, of course, we will bring you back to Weber's Falls. And for now, however, let's go over to meteorologist Station Knight.
Well, we are still keeping a very close eye on storms here in eastern Oklahoma, and we still have active tornado warnings for storms that are up to the north of the Tulsa metro. Now, these tornado warnings do include some of Tulsa County, in fact, the northern side of Tulsa County. And this is a track here on an area of rotation we're watching that's just to the southwest of Skiatook by about 7 miles or so. And right now, the area of circulation is going to be just west of Lake Road. This is a couple miles south of Highway 20, and it is tracking to the east, maybe even northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So this area of circulation, though we don't have any confirmation that we have a tornado on the ground, but it is headed towards the Skiatook area. That area of circulation is, and about 10:55, it's going to be around Skiatook, and we want you to take your tornado precautions. We do have Tim Crone, who is on 146th Street North on Highway 20, headed over to the Skiatook area to get a look at that. And we also have Bob, who's on the southeast side of this storm here. And Bob, if he's on the line, I would just like to hear, Bob, if you can see anything, any rotation, any lowerings from where you're at.
Yeah, I'm northbound on North 52nd West Avenue, and I've got a lowering, probably a slowly rotating wall cloud just over to the northwest of me. There's nothing obvious, as far as funnel at this point, but you can definitely tell it's still rotating a little bit.
Okay, thanks so much, Bob. Keep an eye on that for us. And again, if you're in Skiatook, please take your tornado precautions now because of that area of rotation just down to your south. And Bob does see a wall cloud with that. Again, it's right around Highway 20 and just a couple miles south of Highway 20 near Lake Road. So again, please be cautious there with Skiatook and just go ahead and take your precautions now. I am going to show you what's happening here with reflectivity. We have very heavy rain and maybe even some hail right around Skiatook with the area of circulation again just back to the southwest. Then a little farther up to the northeast, here's the Collinsville area in the middle of your screen, and just northeast of Collinsville is an area we're keeping a close watch on. This is also an area under the tornado warning because of, again, this one particular area, and Darren is right there watching this, and so I'll show you what the velocity values look like. And it does show some rotation within the area. Darren is right along Highway 169, and so is Darren on the line? Okay, I would love to talk to him about, Darren, can you see anything concerning down to your southeast or your northwest?
Well, there's a large funnel cloud. It's going to be to the west of 4060 Road, maybe even 113th East Avenue. We got a brief shot of it there before the rain hit a station, but there is a funnel cloud there, and a large one too.
Okay, thank you, Darren, so much. Keep an eye on that for us. Again, this is just south of Oologah, and I'll put a track on this because based on watching it with radar, it looks like it is traveling up to the east-northeast at about 30 miles per hour. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you what the reflectivity values look like, and I'm going to take it from the notch of where Darren is located tracking it up to the east-northeast at about 25, 26 miles per hour. This would put it at Oologah Lake at about 11:12 and Foyle at 11:15. So if you're in Oologah, if you're in Foyle, if you're right along Highway 88, especially on the south side of Oologah and the south side of Oologah Lake, please go ahead and take your tornado precautions. And again, Darren is watching. It is a funnel cloud now, but we'll check back in with Darren here very soon to see if anything has changed with that. This whole area, remember, is under a tornado warning. We're watching 2 circulations, one just south of Oologah, then the other one to the southwest of Skiatook. Back up to the north here, want to check on those that are in portions of southern Oologah County and also western Craig County, because we do have still a tornado warning in effect for you guys. This will be west of Veneta, and so we'll take a look here at our velocity values, see what we have going on up here, and it is very broad areas of rotation there, so nothing too concerning just yet. If this ramps back up again, and it could, I hate to tell you that, it could, so we still have to be very cautious and we have to be watching this, but as of right now, things appear not too bad up there in far eastern Nowata County and western Craig County. Back down to the south, we'll take another peek here at what's going on around Tulsa and back to the southwest of Tulsa. We might have an area there of circulation just southwest of Tulsa that we'll have to watch. And of course, Darren is keeping his eye on things in that area right along 169 just south of Oologah. Unfortunately, we're getting a lot of rainfall. This is not good. We do have flash flood warnings in place for this area, so please be cautious. And tonight, if you just want to stay home, that would be great, because with these storms, they can still produce tornadoes. And again, you are north of Tulsa at this point for that risk here. Tulsa's at the bottom of your screen, and we do have additional storms now that are going up back to the west in southern Osage County and also western Pawnee County. So taking a look at these storms here, we're going to take a look at every single storm we have, because we still could see some storms becoming strong to severe, potentially very large hail and some gusty winds, of course. And so we'll take a look at these. I don't see any rotation just yet when I'm looking at velocities there. And again, I'm focusing on the storms in southern Osage County and eastern Pawnee. So that's good. But again, we'll keep an eye on it, because you do see what looks like a pennant kind of hanging down there just to the east side of Merrimack. So we'll keep an eye on that, of course, and check things out. But it doesn't look too concerning just yet. What we still are concerned about, Travis, are just 2 areas here. One of those areas right where Darren is located near Oologah, and then the other one to the southwest of Skiatook. So for folks in Skiatook and also folks in Oologah as well as Foyle, please take those tornado precautions just to be safe. And of course, we'll check back in with Bob here soon.
Okay, thanks, Stacia, so much. Thanks for giving me a quick little break. I think I had pizza for the 5th time in a row this week.
There's pizza here?
No, there's no pizza.
Is there pizza here?
No, there's no pizza.
Did you, Stephen,
There was pizza. I think it's hindsight now. It was pizza, so don't worry. Anyway, I feel like I'm in college right now. It's like I'm eating pizza all the time. But anyway, thank you for taking care of that. The heavy rain and thunderstorms going through, there's a couple of things that we wanted to share with you. And what'd you say?
We should go back to Bob here and check on this one.
And Bob is right now just to the west southwest of Skiatook. And Bob, that circulation is real close, right on, almost on top of you. Can you give us an update on what you have right there, Bob?
Yeah, Travis.
Yeah.
I still see a area of rotation. It looks to be crossing pretty much north of me. I hear the tornado sirens going off in Skiatook right now.
A tornado potentially on the ground right now, just west of Skiatook at this moment. So that's right. Just you should be really close to it. There should be a tornado just near or just to the west of Skiatook right now at this point. So if you're right there, Tim, this would be the circulation feature right here on the west-northwest side of Skiatook. So Bob, you got to be kind of careful where you are, but you should be right in the middle of it. So keep your head on a swivel right in there. If you're in right now in Skiatook, we want you to take cover, because that's coming right into Skiatook at this moment. So right there. Do we have the Osage Casino Skycam at this moment? It's not there? Okay, so this is what we're looking at, Highway 20. Circulation feature real close to Bob, coming in on Skiatook. We have to have you go to a place of safety right now. Tornado warning is now just to the west and just right near where Bob is located. Bob, I'm going to come back to you. Do you see anything at all with the flashes of light? Anything? Because it's literally right, you should have it right next to you. Are you there, Bob? Okay.
Yeah, Travis, right now I'm in torrential rain, but I have not seen any power flashes.
Okay.
I'm double back looking to the south, just behind me.
Okay. All right. I'll let you go so you can continue to work on your stuff. And just if you see something, holler loud. So this is on the southwest side of Skiatook. Get it out. And that's moving to the northeast. So, Stacia, you have that moving east-northeast at this time?
I have it east-northeast at about 25.
Okay. So that's coming in on town right now.
I'm going to draw the track live.
All right. Thanks. And so this is on the circulation right on really anywhere you could just say on the west side of Skiatook and coming in town as we speak. So we are sitting at 10:51, so it's literally in town. And then we have the flood going on Highway 20 on the east side of Skiatook. What else could you have here? Earthquake. And so this is rotating at this point just on the west side of town, coming into town as we speak. So again, there's been a couple of guys that have reported a possible a tornado right in this area. And so these have been small spin-ups as it's come through. And so I don't think that I'm not going to say it won't last, but these have been cycling. And so we had a couple reports around when it was at Westport. And so that's continuing now in Skiatook. So if you're in the Skiatook area and from right near downtown to the east, so it's right there at this point. So right in this location, Skiatook, and then extending to the east. Let's go back to velocity so I can see it up close if I could. And there it is just on the west side and from Skiatook. And then you can see it right there near Highway 20. And Tim, all right, let's go to Tim with an update. Tim.
Yeah, Travis, I'm seeing scud that appears to be moving southwestbound. The winds here have picked up a little bit from the east, inflowing into that sector where Bob is. And of note, the lightning has really intensified, especially on the east side of it's a very broad area of low-level rotation, but a lot of scary-looking clouds, but the lightning has certainly been uptick in that. So it might be going through a cycling process right now.
Yeah, and I would totally agree with that based on radar and what you're seeing. A lot of cloud to ground strikes right in there. So we want you to be very careful of what's going on. So tornado warning right now is in for Skiatook at this moment. It doesn't look like it looks like a smaller one, if that makes any difference. And so that's spinning across the area. Okay, let's go back to radar, and you can see what we have right now, where Bob is located, where Tim is located. And so he has a bit of an easterly wind. And then what do you have? Okay, Bob, can you give me another update of what you have?
This might be a
Yeah,
funnel.
Travis, there's definitely a lowering the funnel. Looks to be just a little bit west of Skiatook. I'm having a hard time seeing it anymore because I got into the rain.
Okay. All right. That's what we're worried about. So in Skiatook right now, hard to see from your video, especially without too many flashes of lightning right there. But just continue, and then back to radar real quick as far as what we're looking at. In Skiatook, circulation feature now right over the downtown area and just to the west. So this is kind of the broad area circulation coming across right through the city at this moment. And so you can see it on our radar as that moves across the area, and Bob has that. Tim, I thought I heard you mention there was some lowering. Did you have that, Tim, a little bit of lowering just to your west? Tim? Is Tim there?
2 miles to the east of Skiatook right now. And to the west, it appeared to be, in one of the lightning flashes, a lowered bowl, but I couldn't really tell from it. I only had one nice lightning flash behind it. But the winds are definitely picking up out of the northeast where I'm at,
Okay.
in between. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. Let's go back to radar for a minute. Brandon is just to the south, and he is looking. Brandon's right here at Sperry. And so we were just looking at what's going on. Brandon, if you would, give me an update. What do you have?
Okay, Travis, we're north on 20th West Avenue. I have multiple power flashes, tornado on the ground just northwest of me, multiple power flashes. Looks like it's going to probably be around, stand by here. Looks like it's going to be just to the east of Skiatook right now.
Just on
multiple power flashes.
All right, because it was just over Skiatook now on the east side. All right. Yeah, we're seeing them. Tornado in Skiatook. Continue. Right through there, back to radars, so we can see it. So he's Brandon's right here. So again, tornadoes just going on the south, right here in the southeast side. Now it looks like in this location. So we have power flashes. Who's telling us that too? Okay, still Brandon with power flashes. Okay, so that's just to the north. So right now it's crossing on the east and southeast side. Skiatook, you've got to be in cover right this second as that continues track to the east. Circulation feature right here. Tim, that's got to be so close to you. Do you see power flashes?
I have not seen any power flashes, but I'm right directly below the mezzo now.
Stay back on radar if you guys would.
Nothing yet.
Okay, because I want to stay up there until he has something. So this is a circulation right here, east, southeast sides. So Tim's really close to it. Bob's on the back side. Brandon's on the south side. And right here, so that should be about 136th and Street. And then also on near Highway 20. This is moving east now. So Tim is coming right at you and should be on just on the south and east sides. Brandon, do you have anything else from Sperry as you're looking at it?
Travis, not at this time, I don't, but about just momentarily I did have multiple power flashes, and I did see a funnel halfway to the ground. Okay. Back to my northwest. Looks like it's going to be just east of Skiatook.
Okay. That's where it is. We've got a track on 3. Let's go links 3 with a quick update. Brandon, if you see anything else, holler at me. So this is the circulation feature on the east-southeast sides of Skiatook. That is now moving to the east. Collinsville, you'd be up next if that's coming through your area. It won't end. 1110 going to Collinsville, paralleling Highway 20. If you're along Highway 20 north of Tulsa, you need to take cover. Another tornado just having touched down into Skiatook and into this area. So just right in this location, right in here. Tim is real close to it. Collinsville 1110. Circulation feature continues, and that's going to continue right along 20 and then could move to the east-northeast at this point. So if you're around here, get to cover. Again, as the storm is continuing track to the east-northeast. Let's go back to Brandon for another update on what he sees. Brandon, what do you have? Let's go to links 4.
Okay, Travis, right now we're east on West 103rd Street North. I have not seen any more power flashes at this current time. We're going to try to make our way back up to the north here on North Osage Drive, Travis.
Okay, we do have power in Skiatook, you said? Okay. All right, thanks. And so as that is just coming across from where Brandon is located, so this is kind of the tail end of these storms that's coming across the region. So this has been the one that's produced a couple of tornadoes across the area, and you can see as it's moving to the east, circulation feature along Highway 20 right now. Tim, can you give me another quick update? Do you see anything? Kind of be careful right there.
Yeah, I'm right at Highway 75 and Highway 20, and looking to the south, I can see what Brandon's probably looking at. It appeared to be a small funnel, maybe halfway to the ground, but now it appears it's somewhat occluded, but I can definitely see it to my south.
All right, I'm sure sirens going off with that as well. Did that? I probably had sirens, or thought I heard sirens going off with Tim there. So this is the tail end of it, and so the tornado warning continues for this area along Highway 20 to the south, and then is tracking right toward the Collinsville area right now. Darren's on this other part of the cell that we're watching because that has had some rotation associated with that. Can you give me a quick velocity and see what we have with what Darren is, because he's kind of boxed in right now near Oologah, and he's close to a circulation. Darren, just real quickly, do you have anything else to add on the storm where you're at? Ooh,
no, Travis, hang on a second.
Yeah, that's okay.
The circulation, when it passed through Oologah, it was basically right over the power plant, and then it moved through, and now this is what we have now, just wall-to-wall water.
Right. Go ahead. We're back down where Brandon is located too. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it. So that's the circulation feature here, east side, Oologah, just from the power plant, going back to the east toward Foyle. And then Brandon, do you have something to add? Brandon?
Travis, not at this time. Right now, I've got, I don't know if I can continue east.
Yeah, nope, stop. Flooding water. Yep, stop.
Yeah.
You're just too much water. All right, stop there. That's good. We'll let you go. Let's go back. That's part of the problem with what's going on. I was wondering how far he was going to make it. So he is, that's all flooded areas from the not from Polecat, but from Bird Creek. Tim is on the leading edge of that, so he's going to have to, Brandon will have to go back down around the Sperry area. Leading edge of this is where Tim is located. Bob is into the town of Skiatook right now, so you can see him. Hey, Bob, I can see there's power on downtown, and so we're fine on that. And then also, as we look at what's coming up for this cell, this is still having some rotation with it. But let's take a look at velocities one more time in this area. So this would be right near where Tim is located. Hey, Tim, if you're with me, do you see any rotation right in your location, just from you to the south at all?
Well, to the north and east of me, the clouds are rapidly moving to the southwest. So there's a large upper-level circulation moving to the southwest. I can't see anything directly to my south because of the some houses right in front of me, but there's definitely something going on right here just to really keep an eye on it. I'm going to try to get a better shot.
Yeah, okay, move back to the east, and let's go back to the radar for a minute because that it updated right when I was talking to him. So the circulation feature is just to your northeast, and that's why he's saying that it's wrapping around here. So this is the circulation feature that just went across the Skiatook area. So it's coming across Highway 75 right now. So that would be right where Tim is located, and so this is the highest probability of a tornado right now would be just north of Highway 20 and 46th Street. Let's go get a storm track from Links 3. Stations put together a storm track for us. Collinsville 1109. Oologah 1127, that continues to track to the northeast. So if you're on this area, that'll continue to move just right on, unfortunately, east-northeast. And that's kind of tightened up again, right around 156th Street. So that's just to the north of Tim on Highway 20. So if you're right in this area, and a lot of big pasture, and there's a couple of several housing additions also in this area, you got to go to a place of safety right now. Because that is going to be tight, and that is probably going to be a place where you could end up with a quick tornado or a spin up. And there's going to be some wind damage out of here, potentially with 50, 60 mile an hour winds. So, and that's back to Links 4. If we could, what did you say, Station?
Oh, I said also in Oologah needs to be paying attention to this.
Okay. All right, because that is headed your way to Oologah. So this is the circulation feature right in here, 156th Street. Just west-northwest of Collinsville now because we're across Highway 75. Skiatook, you're not in the clear because it's still raining. You got flood waters. But now we have a hail core showing up just on the north side of this, so that's enhanced. And so we do think that that's going to be pretty significant. And so now we're starting to show that storm analysis showing that we could have quarter-size to golf ball size hail just in that area. And so radar is indicating that this most likely streak would be south of 186th to down to 166th Street north. This is, so we're on the north side of town. We haven't done a big picture here, or have not had an opportunity to. So Tim's on the leading edge of that. This is a circulation feature here. Brandon's down on the south side in flooded areas. And then back on the east, Darren's trying to just get along the leading edge. He's almost there at this point as he is moving into an area which hopefully will get him a little bit. He's still, well, Darren, you're a little bit better shape. Do you have your eyeballs on anything that's just to your north or to your east? Can you see anything? No, he's still got a lot of rain. We'll let him go. I'm not even going to bother him. Circulation, there is a circulation feature, though, close to where he is, close to the southeast side of the lake right now. And so that is pretty intense. It's tighter. I shouldn't say intense, but it is tighter. It's still weak, comparatively speaking. But that's on East 385 Road, East 380 Road, and then that goes to Bushy Head, and then that continues right along Old Highway 66, just to the north and west. So if you're north and west of that, you got to watch out. Tornado warning still in effect for your area. Broadening out to Links 3 to get a storm track on that. Station's put this together for us. Thanks, Station. From Foyle to Chelsea coming up. This is on the one that Darren is on right now. That is tracking to the east-northeast, and so that will continue for a while longer, unfortunately. And so this is Highway 66 and Foyle. Back to the northwest, circulation is a little tighter, right to the north of where Darren is. That's 410 Road, and then where that, just to the north of where Darren is located, that also goes up to about 385 Road. So 385 to 410 Road is some of the tightest, and you see a update right in that area. So that'll take it a little bit further to the north. And you can see the as we pan out there, that could go on up to near the Chelsea area. That's 1112 to, that would be Foyle, Chelsea at 1125. So those are the areas right now and the circulation. Let's go back to the south and west to Links 4 for a moment and get another update on that. So this is the one Darren's in, so he hasn't got out of the rain. We were hoping he could, but this is wrapping around real quickly. Back to the south and to the west. As we come back now in Collinsville, Tim's right along the leading edge. Hey, Tim, can you give me an update from your location because you're real close to the shear of what's going on there? Tim, you there?
Yeah,
Travis, sorry about that. I'm getting winds from different directions, and just to my north is it's very difficult to see with the amount of rain I'm getting right now, but there is a significant lowering just to my north as it crossed 75, and now it's north of Highway 20. I don't see any power flashes, but there is definitely something lowered right to my north, and now the winds are picking up out of the south, so they've switched directions again. Now the winds are out of the south here.
Yeah, you're right on that leading edge. You're right next to it at this point. So you're near the best or worst circulation, if you want to call it that. That is on the north and west sides of Collinsville. So once again, if you could, please stay in shelter from Collinsville back to the north to 166th Street and then further north to West 4000 Road. Hail core is right just to the north here. That's north of 166th. So you're probably getting some golf ball size hail or larger with that. That's moving to the east. And so we're looking at this continuing to track across Collinsville, north side of Collinsville. Circulation is marginal, but let's go to Links 3 with another update from a storm track from Stacia. And so this is what it looks like coming across from where Tim is located. So that he's getting all kinds of winds because he's on the leading edge. That's what's coming into Collinsville right now. Winds out of the south, winds coming in out of the west. So it's rotating around like this. Hail core just to the north. So this is set up, unfortunately, fairly well for a couple of spin-ups, potentially all the way right into the apex of this, which would be on the north side. So that's why we want you to be very careful. So that's overtaking Tim again, unfortunately, as he's coming in on State Highway 20, coming into Collinsville. So it's just to the north on 166, really from 156th Street, and then that goes on up to the north to really the county line. And we want you to be just advised that you're going to get hail. You got everything going on right now. Gusty winds, should have some scary looking clouds. Circulation feature itself is somewhat diffuse and not as prominent as it was, but there's still some strong winds. Hey, Tim, what do you estimate your winds at? Because the best or worst circulation is to your north-northwest.
Right now, Travis, I'd estimate out of the south-southwest at 25 to 30, so it's not overzealous, but there's definitely something going on just to my north because I've had two wind shifts in a very short time as I go east.
Okay. So let's do the tornado track off the apex a little bit more, and let's just shift that north just a hair bit because this is the rotating area right here. So Tim, that's just the south. So so that's great right in there. And then what we're going to do is Tim's on the south side, Collinsville. Still, please shelter in place right now if you're in Collinsville to the little bit to the north. And so this is the track at this point. So Oologah 1126. And then you can see as well, we're in Collinsville right now, so you know you're in trouble now. Hail core continues to be solid on the north side. That's a very violent updraft going on, so it's a hail-making core source. So you could run into hail, heavy rains, hail, and then break into a brief period where you don't have anything going on, and then you're right at the core of this storm. So this is still very much violently wrapped up. And Tim's on the leading edge of that at this particular moment. So that continues, and we're going to see that at Oologah and how that's tracking in here. And with the push of what's going on in Collinsville right now, you're going to get some gusty winds. And Tim mentioning not that strong, but wouldn't be surprised if we could have some winds a little bit stronger along that leading edge. So that'll be around Collinsville. And then a little bit further to the north and to the east, that storm continues. And we have been kind of staying with our storm, but if you could widen out for a moment and show what we have on those areas. So around the Chelsea area now, we also have some potential for some large hail, and that's going to be moving in. Vaughn's coming back. Vaughn never quits. Energizer Rabbit, he's coming up from a big cabin area. So this is circulation here, and then Tim has the biggest circulation feature around the Collinsville area at this time. Let's go to Links 4 and take a look at the bigger picture. More heavy rain and thunderstorms. Marty is still hanging out here. He lives in northwest Oklahoma. He's been chasing all day from western Oklahoma.
Oologah tornado in 2016 was the last time Marty was on our side of the state.
Yeah, well, let's to make sure Marty doesn't create another tornado in Owasso then, because he was. I forgot about that. So there's another circulation a little bit near the Cleveland area. You say, how can this keep happening over and over and over again? And that is because the storm system itself, there's a boundary, and this air is lifting. We have a wave of energy coming up over this. And Stacia, I'll have you go wide for just a moment because I want to point out just a couple quick things. because we have these different cells. So the new Cleveland storm is forming. So we have a couple of these. So the ones that moved off to the east, but I just kind of wanted to show you how this is working right now. So we have Darren on the one storm that is in northeastern Rogers County and getting ready to move into southwestern Craig County. So we have Vaughn and JD back. They're going to intercept that storm with Darren. And then we have the other storm that's located, it's just moving on the northeast corner of Tulsa County with a tornado warning. And then we have these other storms, and you say, okay, why? And that's just more moist air coming up, and that's just an environment where we're going to have additional rain. And we've had 2 to 3 inches of rain already. Can't handle it. It's coming through. We have a lot of problems with the Arkansas River, and so that's still a big issue. We're going to talk about the lakes in a little bit. And Sean, do we have any updates on the barge coming up? Do you have anything we can do, a barge update? Yeah. Okay, let's give you a minute for the anchors to be ready, and let's do that for a minute. And so, what's that?
It's just that foil one's really
okay, all right, let's go back on over and take a look right now. Okay, is Darren, so tornado warning right now, foil, huh? Okay, is Darren where he can talk for a second or not? He's not. Okay, Vaughn, can you look back and see what's going on that cell back by foil where Darren is located?
Yeah, Travis, I'm just now heading south out of Big Cabin towards Adair. There's a lot of lightning right now. I cannot see any kind of features.
Okay, and we got a little feedback there going from you, but it's okay now? All right, and then can you see the feature of the wall cloud coming at him?
Not yet, Travis. I've got to get a little further south.
All right, thanks. All right, I'll let you go. So the tornado warning tightened up big time right where Darren is by foil. If you're right here, let's do a storm track, and then we got to find out about the barge thing too. So the tornado warning is still in effect around the foil area. This is tracking, and this is wrapped up real tight, so we think there's still a tornado potential right in the areas from north and west of foil, and that's moving toward the Bushy Head area right at this minute. So this is wrapped up. Another tornado, most likely going to be on the ground or close to it right in this area. And as Darren's video, is that available to us? Okay. Okay, so there's Darren's video. And so he is looking at the most likely area. Let's take Darren's video full so I can kind of look at that too, since I can't really talk to him at this moment. And then we'll go to links 3 after that. So here he is. This is what we're looking. So I'm looking at the flashing. He's giving us a scan of the skies right now. Cloud to ground, lightning strikes, obviously, tremendous amount of lightning is just blowing and going there. You can tell the winds are, it doesn't look like much, but this is air flowing into the thunderstorm right now. So I'm having a hard time checking and seeing. We're looking for something that's closer to on the ground right now. I don't see that right at the second. But then we do have a tornado warning for there. Let's go down to links 3 and get a storm track real quick. So this is the location. I'm going to have you update that just a hair bit station because that just updated. And so this is Bushy Head, coming in on Bushy Head, north side of Bushy Head. And that is also going to be taking it in an area that's from foil just back to the north. This couplet's getting a lot tighter right in here. And so we do have the tornado warning. Right now, foil coming in 11:16. Chelsea, let's go full screen if we could for the storm track. Thanks. For foil from 11:16, Adair to 11:41. Darren's right on this area. He's looking right back up into this. So we do have what I would say is a possible tornado or strong evidence of a circulation that's on 380 road, 370 road, and then we're just on the west side of, let's keep it full if we could for a minute. And that is just going to be 370 road, 380 road, just west of Hisley, and then just to the south of 350 road, and try to look where that intersects. I can't get a north-south road. It's east of 4180. And so let's see, southwest of Howard. And so that circulation is right there going on. And that's a tornado warning continuing. Foil, 11:16. Chelsea, 11:27. Big Cabin, 11:48. White Oak, 11:49. Circulation feature just to the west of Highway 66 right now near Bushy Head, west-northwest, kind of northwest of Bushy Head, about 2 miles. And now kind of north-northwest at about a mile and a half. And the circulation there, it's not super tight, but we've had a tornado out of something that hasn't been so tight. And so now that's moving up northeast a little bit faster. Could be up near Howard, so that's a quick jump of what's going on. So any place from Bushy Head to the north-northeast, Darren's right along that edge. Vaughn's near there as well. And so that's the worst one. Going back to southwest, Stacia, Kenya. Yep, links 4. So you see where Darren is. And so that's with this one wrapping up right now. And then back to the south and west for a minute. I wanted to go to the news desk, but it's like, oh my gosh. Back further to the south and west. And then Tim's on this one. So this is already through Collinsville with heavy rain, severe thunderstorm. Could you look for velocities on that for a second? So a tighter couplet is just north. Tim, is Tim on the line? Okay. Hey, Tim, could you give me an update on what it's like right where you are and just to your north again? What do you have right there?
Well, Travis, it's hard to see. Just to my north, I got trees. Just to my north, I'm just crossing over the Caney River right now on old Highway 169, trying to get back over to new 169 and track north a little bit. But it's just, I really can't see much with all the trees. Sorry.
All right. That could be on 410 Road coming into Oologah with some strong damaging wind potential. So we can't really tell what's right there. Velocities, INX velocities, if we could, and see if we have anything that shows up. So there's still that couplet. So it's still there. So it's rotating just to the north of you, Tim. And that's 410 Road and 400 to 410 Road. That's moving to the east-northeast. And that'll be bringing it into Oologah. And so it's tightened up a little bit right in here. So as you look at that, so where Tim is, just to his north-northeast, that is tightened up enough that it's concerning. 410 Road, 400 Road, where it intersects with 450 Road, 4060 Road, and then also just East 400 Road, as you see in there. It is not a well-defined, because it's still a very turbulent area right in here, but this whole thing is rotating right now. So there is a chance that in the middle of this, we could have a possible touchdown of a tornado at any time. It's under a tornado warning, so that could happen. So what do we have? They did drop it? Hallelujah. For a second, yeah, and some of these have been expired and come back around. So this is still rotating right here, and then we have the one that's off to where Darren and Foyle. All right, so this is all a severe thunderstorm warning. We're going to try to go to the news desk in just a minute. There's still, the dynamics associated with these are still very much alive, unfortunately, for the potential for not only severe storms, but isolated tornadoes. So Chelsea at this moment, and then southwest of Oologah, tornado warnings have been dropped. That's not to say you can't have something spin up. And then also at Skiatook Lake, we're starting to see a circulation feature coming back around Skiatook Lake over there. We've had tons of rain. It's awful. It's not good. And we have more water coming down. And we're going to talk about that. But let's go to the news desk because we actually have a moment to get some more information. Guys.
And we have an update for you as well, Travis.
All right, we've been keeping up with these two barges that are flowing down the Arkansas River. They broke free from the port of Muskogee. The Tulsa Army Corps of Engineers says it is confident in the structural integrity on the lock and dam number 16 near Webbers Falls, which those barges are headed right for that.
They're heading right for it. The city of Webbers Falls is very concerned this could be catastrophic. But now they were expecting that those barges would be at Lock and Dam 16, more than an hour ago. So now they're wondering, have they gotten hung up? What the situation is. So we're told that Muskogee EMS is trying to get a chopper, maybe a military helicopter, to fly over the river, maybe get a drone with a spotlight to try to look for those barges and see what the situation is, because they were expecting them to be there by now.
And obviously that would be the best case scenario if they get hung up, or maybe they're just pushed out into a pasture somewhere along the riverbank. But let's go to News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter, who is live right now near Webbers Falls with the latest for us. Reagan, describe the scene there and the situation. I guess a lot of folks are showing up there to see what happens.
Yes, there is, and like you guys said, the big question is, where are these barges? Did they get hung up? Are they upriver still? We've been told they should have already made it to the dam, but as you can see, they still have not made it down here. It's still really dark out here, so it's making it very tough to really locate where these barges are even at. There's been several crews down here that have been scanning these spotlights basically for the last 2 hours now, scanning the river to try and see if they can find these barges, and they still haven't had any luck doing that. Like you said, Terry, they're trying to get a chopper out here to hopefully locate where these barges are at. Now, if these barges actually do hit, there's some different reports about what could happen. Now, the city of Webbers Falls says everyone should evacuate now because if the dam fails, it will be catastrophic. However, the lockmaster here says he believes the worst case scenario will be just maybe a couple broken gates, 1 or 2, not a lot of problems. Now, to recap what happened for those that are wondering, some barges broke loose earlier today and were quickly wrangled by tugboats, but those boats got away and there's not able to have any tugboats available tonight to keep them from going towards the dam. Now, if the barges keep going past the dam, they'll come to the 64 bridge and then the I-40 bridge. OHP has closed those bridges to traffic as a precaution. They did make it past the Highway 62 bridge earlier without any damage. Now, I want to show you over here for a second. There's actually an area on this dam, on this side of the dam, that's actually just basically a big building. So they're kind of hoping that those 2 barges actually maybe come to the side of the river and actually hit this part of the dam and not the actual structure that's holding back the water right there. So again, they're really kind of out here trying to see if they can find these barges in the first place because they should have been in the area by now. But we'll keep you updated all night long. Back to you guys.
Okay. So, Reagan, there are no, I think you said this already, but before they had some tugboats that could kind of push them aside. Nothing like that right now. They're just kind of hoping that the barges show up and head the way they want them to.
Like I said, it's kind of just a waiting game out here. There's just several people that are kind of walking along this dam and on the sides using flashlights just to kind of spot these and figure out when it's actually going to come out here. It's so dark out here right now that you really can't even see anything, so they're just kind of hoping they can maybe spot it. But again, like you guys said before I went on, they are kind of hoping that maybe these barges actually got hung up along the river, maybe in one of the bends up here. There's actually a big bend in the Arkansas River about 2 or 3 miles upriver, so maybe those barges actually got hung up there and aren't going to even come down this way. But if they are, these crews are kind of just scanning and ready for them.
Okay. All right, Reagan, thank you very much. We know you're going to keep an eye on things for us this evening. We do want to show folks some video right now that was taken by News on 6 viewer a little bit earlier. You can see, take a look on the right-hand side of your screen. You can see going past the trees and under the bridge right there. Those are those 2 barges earlier in the day.
There they go.
And they made
just slipped under.
They slipped under the Highway 62 bridge.
Yeah. So
he's getting a better vantage point for us on the other side of the bridge there. But very fortunate that those barges did not hit any of those bridge supports.
Right.
There.
It's amazing because the barges first came loose. I was watching our noon news and saw the coverage of it, and they were able to corral them. So this is an ongoing situation. And as far as we know, nobody is really quite clear on what might be on them, if there's anything on them, if that could pose a danger. So it's really created a lot of uncertainty, particularly, obviously, for the folks in Webbers Falls. And that's why everyone in that town was told to evacuate today.
Right, exactly. Can we go back to Reagan's shot real quick? I'm not sure if we can go back to that. We wanted to give you another live picture of the lock and dam 16 near Webbers Falls, and we'll stay on this shot for just a little while we give you some additional details that we think are very important for people about the flooding threat here in our area. Obviously, a number of communities are very concerned about flooding from the Arkansas River. The Oklahoma National Guard is staging 50 military vehicles, 120 personnel, and 3 hoist-capable helicopters in northeastern Oklahoma to assist with evacuation efforts.
And earlier today, the Tulsa Area Emergency Management Agency tried to give everyone a big picture of what they might expect along the Arkansas River. Now, they said the Army Corps of Engineers is currently releasing anywhere from 207,000 to 215,000 cubic feet of water per second. The Corps is releasing that, but the city of Tulsa and the emergency managers say they are preparing for the potential that 300,000 cubic feet per second could be released from the Keystone Dam in the coming days. And they say that would result in historic flooding along the Arkansas River, similar to what Tulsa County saw in 1986. So our problems with this flooding are really, unfortunately, just getting started tonight.
Obviously, a lot of issues with tornadoes throughout our area tonight, but flooding is also a very real danger and a very definite possibility in many parts of our area. Again, that shot there was a look at the lock and dam near Webbers Falls as we will try to figure out where these two runaway barges are tonight and whether they'll cause significant damage, which can then lead to significant and potentially life-threatening flooding.
Certainly. And let's take a look a little bit closer to home. Earlier today, the River Spirit Casino on Riverside Drive in Tulsa. Look how high that water is, and it has only risen since then, folks. They closed down Riverside Drive for a couple hours while they evacuated the casino, and there was certainly a scramble to find rooms because people who are affected, who are trying to evacuate, are obviously looking for places to stay. So that's just, you know, the tip of the iceberg. And a lot of people, Rick Wells was at Gathering Place earlier today. I asked him if it was closed, and he said, oh, no, it was bursting with people because that river is just so high and rushing. A lot of people wanted to get a look. So, you know, it's exciting unless you have property in that area, and then it can be very dangerous. A lot of river rescues already have gone on throughout the area today.
In fact, I'll tell you a little bit about some of the river rescues. OHP is positioning equipment and personnel throughout the area in Muskogee and Tulsa. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol completed 55 water rescues, search and rescue missions in just the Skiatook area today, with 75 people reached. That's just today. Doesn't even count what they did tomorrow. And you can see some of the shots of the Arkansas River there. It's just a mess right now, and that's why a number of communities, Bixby, Muskogee, Sand Springs, Tulsa, Jenks, they're all urging people to evacuate in some areas due to this potentially unprecedented flooding. Right,
because the sad fact of the matter is, as Travis has been saying all night, already these dams, Keystone was at, I think, like 85% capacity, and lots more rain came tonight. So that's why the city of Tulsa is saying those releases from Keystone are going to be even higher, and more people are going to be affected, unfortunately, by this situation.
Boy, you just look at that, and folks who've been here for quite some time just shudder and think back to the historic flooding back in the 80s when we saw so much water in the city of Tulsa and surrounding communities. So let's hope that we're prepared. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is assisting with 100,000 sandbags to be staged in the city of Tulsa, 3,000 sandbags for Broken Arrow, and of course a number of other communities have been taking steps. We've had quite a bit of warning that this was going to potentially happen, so a lot of communities have been implementing their emergency operations plans and trying to get people ready for the likelihood of flooding.
You know, I think it's been so long since we've seen anything like this, so that a lot of people weren't really thinking it's going to happen, and you know, I hope they're right.
Yeah, but, definitely,
yes, but at this point, you know, definitely better safe than sorry. So it's late in the evening, and I know probably people aren't going to be putting evacuation plans into place right now, but if you're anywhere near, you really need to think about it. And definitely, the mayor stresses so much, everyone needs to be heads up and aware about this, because this is a situation that can change very, very quickly. The Corps is going to give the city notice when it increases the release from Keystone Dam, but if you're not listening, you're not going to hear that. So everybody really, really needs to be weather aware about this situation anywhere along any rivers or streams in the next few days.
And a lot of people that may not have plans to evacuate might change their minds at the last minute, obviously, when they start seeing all this water, but you know, have a very healthy supply of food, of water, medicine. That is one of the key things, and it's often something that people do not have ready during an emergency.
Right, you need a few days supply at least of any medicines you might take, all that kind of thing.
Again, this is a live look right now at the lock and dam number 16 along the Arkansas River. This is near Weber's Falls, where two barges are expected, at least at some point tonight, to arrive, two runaway barges that broke free from the port of Muskogee.
That are not running very fast.
They're not running real fast, but they are pretty strong, so we're a little bit worried about that. The city of Weber's Falls obviously very concerned that if there's damage to the lock there, that could cause some significant flooding areas for the town of Weber's Falls. So earlier tonight, they encouraged everyone to just get out of town, go ahead and leave, because this is unpredictable, and we fear that it could be catastrophic.
Are the words that the city of Weber's Falls was using. So they were really, really trying to get folks' attention. The thing of it is they were expecting flooding and wanted people to evacuate
leave anyway,
already. So any more would just be devastating.
Now, the Corps of Engineers does say they are very, they believe in the structural integrity of the lock and dam there. So, you know, they're confident and they are working with local officials to handle the situation.
And they're on scene, and of course I-40. Now I-40 has been closed for I don't know, what,
quite some time.
5 hours, closed in both directions, because that would be one of the targets. If those barges get past this lock and dam, I-40 would be next. So, and ironically enough, it was in 2002 Memorial Day weekend that the I-40 bridge over near Weber's Falls was hit and collapsed.
Yeah,
and
killed 13 people and injured many others. And obviously, for those of us who were around at that time, we were that's the first thing that comes to mind. When you hear about, oh, there are barges free on the Arkansas River, you think,
Absolutely.
oh my goodness, let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Okay, Craig, you're the map reader here. So you see where Weber's Falls is, and there's the river. So we've got the 64 bridge, which it's already cleared, right?
There we go. It's cleared the 64 bridge, and then it's got to come to the lock and dam number 16 near Weber's Falls. Now, if for some reason it smashes through a portion of that or goes on to that, then it would have to go to the next bridge, which I believe is 62. Is that right? Do I have those backed up?
Yeah,
it's cleared 62.
Next is the lock and dam.
Next is the lock and dam.
There we go.
Then it's 64.
Then it would be 64. Okay.
Right.
Okay, well.
It's easy at this late hour to get 62 and 64 confused.
Okay, so there is one bridge then between them and
the interstate.
And the interstate, 64. Yeah. So.
And this is where we are live with Reagan now.
Okay, and we're at the lock and dam at that first location.
That
with
first
Reagan.
circle at the top of your screen next to the 6, that's where Reagan is located.
The thing of it is, you know, is it cleared that 62 bridge, but the water's only gone up since then because the water is rising in the river. So
may have a little bit more difficulty clearing anything else. That's for sure.
We'll find out.
Maybe hung up in some trees.
Yes.
And yeah, our producer Sean Whitrock is here, and we're giving us some information. And that's one thing he brought up is, you know, maybe it's hung up on some trees, and that would be the best case scenario.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that if it got hung up on some trees, maybe those barges went off into a pasture area that just gradually got shallower and shallower and is in a sandbar, dirt, you know, that kind of thing, somewhere on the shore.
Well, and that is another good point that Sean makes, that, you know, even if it has gotten hung up, it doesn't mean it would stay hung up.
No, not at all.
So that's why, you know, if you're just joining us, the latest plan is the city of Muskogee is trying to get the military helicopters are in Tulsa. They want to get a military helicopter. They want to get some spotlights up and search the river and figure out what in the world has happened. So
if they're not able to get a helicopter, they're going to try to get a drone with a light on it, but obviously that's going to have a limited range and limited battery power, but at least it would give them something on this very dark night to try to find those barges.
To find out what's happening. All right.
I got a question for you guys too, and I find this interesting, is that why is it that if it has to go through the lock and dam, why is I-40 closed? Does anybody know why I-40 is closed
because
already?
if it went through the lock and dam, and then it would be the 64 bridge.
Well, yeah, but
and then it would be I-40.
Maybe they don't have time to change it.
Well, I think after what happened earlier, I don't think they want to take any chances of having traffic on that.
An abundance of caution. They want to close down that highway and make sure that we don't see a similar tragedy to 2002.
Well, plus, you know, they were expecting it to be, you know, clearly they're not sure of the speed of this, so they're thinking, is it faster, is it slower? So the Highway Patrol is just not taking any chances.
Yep.
All
right. Well, do we want to go back and show another live shot of that, or do we want Travis? You got some weather to talk about?
I wanted to share some of the lake reports too. So again, this is a lock and dam right now, and so you know the thing is, hopefully we don't see some barges, 2 of them, coming down here and getting stuck in here or damaging any of this. That's what the concern is right along there. But I also want to go over to Lynx 1 right now because I'm going to give you an update on the area lakes. We have a lot of problems here. The rain tonight is adding to that. I don't know if you can add already what's an already terrible situation, and I hate to say crisis because I hollered for a tornado warning in Tulsa and it ended up taking about 15, 20 miles further northeast before there's actual tornado warning. So I'm trying not to make a too big of a statement because the Corps has to make the big statements. Oologah is at 32 feet. Skiatook is at 14 feet. Skiatook is a special lake, and I forgot what I was going to ask you what the flood stage, or not the flood stage, but what the flood pool is on that. That's my next graphic. Okay, I'm going to show that because Skiatook does not have gates that you open. It goes over a spillway, and so there's no control. It's kind of like the Red River, the Denison Dam down on the Red River. Once it reaches a certain level, you don't open gates. It just comes over the spillway, and whatever comes over the spillway comes over the spillway. Well, we were talking about how many rivers there are. That Grand is over full right now. There's too much coming in. It has to release water. Hudson is so full, has to release. Gibson, Gibson's holding back. So Eufaula is okay right now, but there's a lot of flooding coming in from out of the Canadian and out of central Oklahoma. 10 Killer's okay because the Illinois is not causing problems. But you look just past that, and so we're looking at releasing water that is going to be totally devastating if we don't see some improvement. And I don't see any improvement because Keystone now is up to 29 feet. Kaw is back up to 34 feet, so Kaw is back up to where it can't hold any more water. So what I'm going to do is explain this just a little bit because this is going to be something that Alan will talk about in the morning. The Keystone release, and Terry mentioned this, is about 207,000, could be about 215,000. That happened at 6 p.m. tonight. And we're at 29 feet. Kaw is at 34 feet because there's still a lot of water and flood water coming in on all these areas. And here's the problem is that, okay, they're full. They can't get any fuller, so they're going to have to release. We also had this additional rain. And the drainage areas for this is going to be Polecat and the Caney, and then also south of the Oologah Lake, and we still have flooding waters coming in. I'm painting a horrible picture, so I'm trying not to, but it is something of deep concern. So if you live along the Arkansas River, it's a very concerning setup. I haven't seen this since 1986, and that was when I was a young guy, and I was just kind of like, my eyes were wide open to what was going on. But this is what we're dealing with right now. The lakes, since last night, are now well above and now pushing near 100% in several locations. So we're well above 90%. And Terry, I know you'd mentioned like it was at 87%. Now, just in the last 6 to 10 hours, 12 hours, these numbers now are approaching. Kaw Reservoir is near 100%. It's just below 100%. Keystone, do you know what the number was percentage?
97%. Well, hold on. No, it's about 92, 93%.
93%. Okay, so once you're above 90%, and I want to put this in perspective, this is where it should be, right in here. This is the flood protection. If we go above flood protection, they have to open the lakes. They have no choice. And look where our lakes are for flood protection. So I'm not trying to create any hysteria or try to create it to where it's something like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. It's not, but this is this is probably as bad as it ever has been in terms of how much water is now. Oologah, and I suppose I should have had you put the percentages on there, but can you remember what those are?
All of those, Oologah, Grant, Hudson, Fort Gibson, were 95% or above.
Okay.
So like 95, 97, 98% were all of those.
So we cannot hold any more water. We're pretty much to that point. So we're at a point where the lakes are going to have to release whatever water's coming in. They're going to have to basically release it. And so that sets it up, and especially with additional rain tonight, where it's going to be a very serious situation. So if you have any interest at all along the Arkansas River, any interest, and that really includes in Tulsa, and that's not to put fear in you, it's just that, and Terry mentioned this, you have to stay very much aware, because in all my years, I've not seen something quite to this point except in '86, and that's when the waters went up to over 300,000 cubic feet per second. And that was when we started seeing some flooding. The flooding kind of moved in on Brookside area. We thought it'd be a lot worse, but the river bottom channel was scoured out over several years, and so it held more water than we thought, and therefore it didn't have a mass flood like we thought we would. It went to 310,000 cubic feet per second, but it did flood down all through Bixby. And so the reason why I'm saying this is just, as Terry said before, you must stay in tune. And of course, we have so much in the way of communications. We just don't want social media to get carried away and blow it out of proportion. But I'm making a pretty big statement about what's going on right now. So as you look at the Eufaula and 10 Killer, I'll get out of the way. Here's the good news of what's going on is just Eufaula and 10 Killer in southeast Oklahoma. But those lakes have not endured quite what we're seeing in areas to the north and west of Tulsa. So Copan is up to 80%. These are staggering numbers. That's what I just want to point out for what we're dealing with right now, and it's getting very close to the flood control pool being too full. And the other thing that does happen is that when the floodgates are opened, they are raising the gates. They're called tainter gates. As those gates rise, it also makes the level of the water they don't want it to run over the gates. Okay, you don't want water spilling over the gates that are up here. So they raise the gates, and then that way we're controlling the amount of water coming out while we're raising the level of the dams. And so they can hold a little bit more water. Even though we're releasing a lot of water, they can hold more because we still have inflows that are more than what the dams can let go right now. And then with this additional rainfall, and I'm making it hopefully I'm keeping it very simple so that you can understand that. But this is something that as we go through tomorrow is going to be very, very important because the Corps has a lot of stuff going on right now, and they are having to maneuver so much. And so I know those guys are amazing. But this is with about 200,000 cubic feet per second, and that's River Spirit, and we've been showing that. If we have to go up a lot higher, then that is going to get into River Spirit, because we did a story, Mike Grogan and I did a story on River Spirit when they built it, because they built it to withstand massive flooding events and 500-year floods and all that. It also, where it's flooding, is what they said could happen, but they don't have anything down low that would have a lot of issues because they put it up in elevated areas, electric and all that type of stuff. The storage, they had storage things down there. They have parking down there and all that. So there are still things that are down there that obviously are going to be affected. But compared to the levels of what we're anticipating, we're expecting the levels still to go up. So hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm really wrong. But we're going to see what happens. And the only thing I want to point out here is that the thunderstorms that we have now are still hanging around through the early morning hours to the north here. And so these thunderstorms, as they continue to hang around, they're going to die down gradually. And we still see, though, a chance with warm, moist air that there could be some thunderstorms into Thursday. And you said, well, Travis, you said there wasn't going to be any storms. Well, the chances of storms now are going to be winding down, but we do have continuing chances. Notice, though, the odds. We do have a pretty good chance Saturday night and Sunday, and then we have off and on chances coming up, the Memorial Day weekend. And temperature's going to be warm, it's going to be humid, but those are the conditions right now that we're concerned with. I want to go back to radar. I did a little preaching there, just trying to make sure that you're very much aware of what we're going on. So there's additional severe weather going on out to the west of Oklahoma City. We have our cluster of thunderstorms. We've had the tornado warnings going to the north. Right now we have no active tornado warnings in the area, but we do want to update what's going on. And then Sean, I don't know if we have any additional news or the barge information that you want to share. But this is what we're looking at with the heaviest of the thunderstorms now. And we have our guys still on this. We have severe thunderstorm warnings at this time, not tornado warnings. I've been back on that. But this is still hail potential is very high where Darren and Tim are located, and that's near Foyle. And then Vaughn is in this area as well with localized heavy rainfall and thunderstorm activity. We still have a circulation feature. It's not as prominent as it was. It's still there. But the good news is it isn't quite the dynamics that it was before. And so our guys, we're going to talk to them in just a minute about what's going on. So let's, who's available, Michael? Because I went off on a tangent there for a minute to talk about them. Okay, I'm going to just talk to Vaughn for a second, get an update from Vaughn. If you would, Vaughn, can you give me an update on the storms that are out to the west and what you have?
Yeah, I'm looking right back into this little notch here. The notch would be over by Bushy Head and Foyle. I'm sitting just to the west of Adair. And I tell you what, the lightning show is incredible here. It's very, very dangerous. These positive strikes are everywhere around. But I'm not seeing really any kind of lowering type of thing, but it does look like it's getting more organized and a little bit stronger at this point, Travis.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Vaughn. I appreciate it very much. Back to radar for a moment. Broad picture, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break. We do have severe thunderstorms still all in these areas. And so this is going to be heavy rain, hail. This is on the east side of Oologah Lake, south of Chelsea. Vaughn's got the lightning, everything going on. Bob's back up by Skiatook where we have another strong thunderstorm. Localized, we're just talking about massive amounts of rain and flooding. Again, something we don't want to see. This will deteriorate a little bit with time. We also have severe thunderstorms and heavy rain up around Bartlesville. to the north. I should say that's not severe, I guess. I thought it was a heavy rain and thunderstorms. So this is the cluster of rain that continues across the area. What we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with some more information coming up just shortly. So we're going to take a break for the first time in a while. Keep it here. We'll keep you advised.